Good afternoon, boys, girls, and MBs of all shapes, all sizes, all colors, and all orientations. Welcome, one and all, to the only Alec Gunter stream. I am your host, Alec Gunter. It's so good to be back, baby. So good to be back. Hello, hello, one and all. Welcome. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on my camera. I forgot to do that. Okay. Yeah, anytime my camera shuts off, I got to like re-zoom it in like that. It's a little annoying, but it's fair trade-off, I suppose. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, Balthazar. Anybody who might be in site chat. I know this is a little earlier than we usually do. I am going to try to make this my news start time on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays specifically. On Fridays, it's going to be 2 p.m. Now, why the differential, you might ask? Well, there is a place very close to where I live that has boxing. And I want to go and try to learn how to box. So, in order to do that, I need to switch up my schedule a little bit. On Tuesdays, boxing is at 6 p.m. And on Fridays, it's at 7 p.m. And so that gives me about 4 hours to stream. And then I go to boxing. And I got about an hour in between. I think that'll be fun. I think we're still waiting on people to get in here. It's all good. You know, I had people telling me that, like, they didn't think the last debate that I had was that strong. And I gotta say, I disagree. Like, I feel like I did fine. Like, I don't think anybody can test that I did fine. But I have people saying, like, oh, it wasn't your strongest debate, bro. And I'm like, but why? Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, yeah, I forgot I was going to oil my beard before I got on camera. Oh, well. It is what it is. I feel like I'm blurry, and the background is not, and I don't like that. Okay. I think that's better. It can be a little tricky with this camera. I might need to go in and adjust the settings a little bit. Make sure it focuses on me specifically. Yeah, because it keeps defocusing. Maybe if I center it more. Here, let me try something. Let's try that. I think that's a little better. I don't know if new information to you, but I wanted to let you know, since you made a video about it, according to Planned Parenthood, HRT for adults will still be available despite the new law. Oh! Shit. That's pretty pog, dude. Oh, hold on. Proud to provide gender-affirming care. Cool. Oh, wait, here. On February 7th, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services released revised proposed rules on gender-affirming care after an outpouring of public comment. These new proposed rules no longer apply to adults accessing gender-affirming care. Gender-affirming care for adults ages 18 plus is safe and legal here in Ohio. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. So if you're an adult in Ohio, go get your T and your E. I feel like it's not quite zoomed in enough, but whatever. If I sit up, it's usually a little better. I'm in a really bad habit of slouching and like leaning back, and I need to stop. It's much better to sit up like this. It's just, it's better. It looks better. It feels better. It's just like, I always get lazy. What's up, Manic Jack? How you doing? It's on the PPOH page.
Wealth, fame, power.
I'm amazed there isn't a Shrek skin for Getting Over It, so we can have Getting Over It.
Well, thank you very much, Shaka Tanuki. Hopefully, what's his name? Bennett Foddy. Hopefully Bennett Foddy will get on that. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate you very much. Hello, Atheist Mando. Welcome. I am a little tired today. I got a lot going on. I just got back from the eye doctor. I'm getting LASIK. Boys, girls, and MBs, I'm getting LASIK. It is official. I'm getting it on Friday, so I can say goodbye to these. It'll be sick. Yes, excellent, excellent. Indulge in the gifted. By the way, Sake, since you're here, if you want to fill out a form for a vinyl sticker and a green screen request, be sure to do that. Of anybody, I hope that you get it. I don't hope that you get it. If you don't want it, it's fine. But what I'm saying is I just want to make sure that you get it. That's what I meant. Like if you want it. I'm doing it again. I'm leaning back again. It's so easy to do here. Like, it's not a big deal if I do it, but it's just so much better when I don't. I just look better and I sound better. I was just watching the Metatron vid. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, space out my video release from when I, like, go live, but it's hard. Because my videos do best around, like, when I release them between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. But then I'm trying to go live at, like, 1 p.m. So, it's a little tricky. Also, I'm trying to get 2 videos out a day, but that's made infinitely more difficult by the fact that YouTube cannot stop demonetizing me. So, there you go. Actually, I'm kind of restless right now. I'm going to stand up. Because I can do that! Oh. I can almost do that. Only issues the lighting. I would like a fix for that at some point. I just don't know what or when. Or how. Okay, I think that's good. It's good enough. Okay. And then you were like, somebody shared a video in the Discord. Also join the Discord and I do whatever people tell me to on my phone. Hey, let's go. Yeah, drop videos there. I'm running dry. The content well has run dry. And I've gotten lazy lately, so I use almost exclusively videos that people recommend to me to go over. It's the vinyl countdown, oh my god. Is there any discussion of body dysphoria in the 3rd trimester as a rationale for abortions? That's a great question. We should get on that. Glasses are a stamp in your iconic look. I'm sorry, like, I just hate them. I hate glasses. You're gonna have to get a new, like, it's gonna be a new iconic look without them. That's how it's gonna be. I'm tired of glasses. Okay. You said he was being very ambiguous on his politics, but he mentions as an AI-loving fascist and a theocratic fascist. That's pretty true. I think that he's ambiguous enough, Metatron. He's ambiguous enough in his politics. You have to get glasses with 0 magnification? That's so lame, though. Like, who wears glasses when they don't need them? Like, unless they're sunglasses, obviously, but that's different. Then you're going to be a full-on negaverse, Tim Pool. Gotta be careful using that word. But yes, that's true. That is pretty true. Get a top hat? I technically have one, but it's a prop. I mean, I could wear hats. Like, I have no shortage of hats. Actually, let me see. That's a little better. Let me see if I can't change that. Oh, right. Those are just regular light bulbs. I forgot. Oh, well. Okay, good enough. Join the server today. Mind if I show you some crazy video from Tattooed Theist? Sure, why not? Let's see it. Like I said, I need content. The content wells run dry, so let's see it. Show me your content. What the fuck is a skullet? A skullet? Pull off a skullet? Oh, like a skull helmet? Like a skull cap? Or do you mean like a literal skull type thing? Oh, none in the... Oh, mullet. A mullet. I see. A mullet. Okay. None in the front, long in the back. Ew. Ew, no. That's like fucking Trevor from GTA 5. No, thank you. I'm good. If I want to look like Trevor, then I'll have given up on everything. At that point, I'll have become a pariah. The likes of which the world has never seen. And I'll just have, like... I'll have ceased caring what people think of me entirely. Like, to some extent I have stopped caring, but I still care a little bit, and so do you. And if you say that you don't, you're lying. And if you're not lying, then you're Trevor. Although, no, I take it back. Trevor actually does care what people think about him. He just acts like he doesn't. That would be what I do if I legitimately did not care, though. Like, I would dress and act like Trevor. But yeah, sorry, I'm a little tired today. I'm restless and tired at the same time. Isn't that great? I've been doing so many things, you know? So many various things to keep up with. It gets a little cumbersome and tiresome. But yeah, LASIK, man. No more glasses. I'm excited. I also got to make a dentist appointment. I'm running behind. Y'all are quiet as fuck. This is what happens when I change my schedule, man. I'm like the one person trying to sit down having a conversation and everybody's answering with like one-word answers. What's this?
You know, there's a thought repeating in my brain ever since Trump had that $100 million judgment against him. And that is, how can you commit fraud and be guilty of fraud, be fined for fraud, after you paid the money back?
What?
Please, somebody explain that to me. To be brutally honest, we know this is going to be thrown out on appeal. And honestly, the judge should be fucking disbarred.
Okay. I mean... It's still fraud. Like, even if you give the money back, it's still fraud. Did I understand that correctly? Like, his argument is that, well, yeah, he committed fraud, but actually gave the money back, so it's not fraud anymore. This dude is an endless bad take factory. Maybe he'd be interesting to cover then. He's a total fraud. He's a total fraud. And I told him he's a total fraud. Wrong. Wrong.
You know, there's a thought repeating in my brain ever since.
What the hell's happening with this dude's videos? Look what it does. It does the same thing on my regular browser. I think it's because it's a short. 138 views? Oh, he's got about as many subscribers as me. This is fair game. What's like a popular video of his? From 4 years ago? I want a recent one. Yeah, all of his most popular stuff is from forever ago. He fell off hard. I want the one that's like reasonably recent, like 1 year ago. Maybe. Put it in other reacts. He's the guy who bullied a young feminist girl like a 10-year-old girl. That's how he popped off 6 years ago? Really? That's insane. Which one? You said 6 years ago? Not that. Which video is it? Or is it a video of his at all? I want like a good, legitimate video from him that like represents his current content and is also semi-recent and semi-popular. If I can get like 1,000 views. Give me one with like 1,000 views. Here. From 5 months ago. Jason Aldean goes woke, go woke, go broke reaction. Who's Jason Aldean? I don't know anything about that. We're moving on. Never make Captain Picard angry. Sent the vid from Void Amongst the Stars. Make sure to look at his comments in the comment section too. It's the dude who calls actual Jake a cuck for being polyamorous. That's not very nice. I'm also polyamorous, technically. Well, the election is over. Yeah, this guy's not very, like... Here, thank you, President Biden, maybe. Here, we can maybe try that one. All right, what do we got going on in content suggestions? Oh no. Kids are leaving church, we need youth revival. Oh god, he looks exactly like you'd expect him to look, man.
Hey, my friends.
That's uncanny. Got the receding hairline, the red hair. You got a great beard. His beard's great. I'm not gonna shit on him for that. But it's exactly how you'd expect him to look. So this is a crazy vid then. So I'm gonna take your word for it that this is good content then.
Hey, my friends.
Oh, hold on. Didn't mean to clip it. No clip. How do I get out of this? Discard. No, not report. No. Put another. Is that an F slur, Lich? Jesus. Okay. You guys want to get started on Rashida Tlaib? Fucking, not F slur. Sorry, I don't know why my mind jumped to F slur. I'm just homophobic is all. What happened actually was I saw the F dashes and I was like, people don't usually type F with dashes unless it's the F slur. At least not in my community. All right. Let's do this thing.
Michigan.
So we've been talking a lot about how people need to vote Democrat in the upcoming 2024 election. And I stand by that. People do need to vote Democrat in that election. However, leading up to it, we have something called primary elections, right? And in the primaries for the Republicans and the Democrats and any other third party that decides to run and definitely won't win, what they do is they have like a preliminary election where they decide who their front runner is going to be. Who is going to be the guy that represents our party, right? Very simple. Easy to digest, not complicated. So, I have been towing the line, my apologies. Vote for Biden, right? Vote for the Dems, vote for the Dems, vote for the Dems in 2024. Now, I've been saying vote for Biden because it's been presumed, and it probably will be the case still, that Biden will be the front-runner nominee. However, Rashida Tlaib has other ideas. So, and to preface this, I am a fan of what she's doing, just so you know. I agree with what she's doing here, and I'll explain why. Rashida Tlaib decided that she is going to urge Michigan Democrats to vote against Biden. Now, if you don't know who Rashida Tlaib is, she is a House member from Michigan. She's a congresswoman, and she's part of what's called the Squad, which includes other people such as Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ilhan Omar. Rashida Tlaib is just happens to be among them as one of the Squad, right? And she is also Palestinian, I believe. So she's been looking at what Biden's been doing lately and saying, no, I don't like that. She got censured, and some Democrats even voted in favor of censuring her. And now she's saying, okay, well, just don't vote for Biden. Like, my constituents don't vote for Biden in the primary, specifically the primary. Okay? It's all she said is don't do it in the primary. NBC News decided to embellish that a little bit and saying, Rashida Tlaib is urging Michigan Democrats to vote against Biden. Now, it's leaving out some crucial information there. And I'm not a fan of that. But let's see what they have to say about it.
Michigan also has a Democratic primary, which is getting some unexpected attention in this year's race for the White House. Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is urging Democrats to vote against President Biden in the contest, which is a week away. Representative Tlaib is a Palestinian American who has previously expressed her dissatisfaction with the Biden administration's role in the Israel-Hamas war. In a post on the X account, Listen to Michigan, she explained her stance.
Okay.
This is the way you can raise our voices. Don't make us even more invisible.
I haven't seen this yet.
Right now, we feel completely neglected and just unseen by our government. If you want us to be louder, then come here and vote uncommitted.
100% agreed. If you're voting for Biden in the primaries, you're a cuck. You're cucked. You're absolutely insanely 100% unequivocally cucked to the Democratic establishment. No
On this, let's bring in NBC News senior national politics reporter Jonathan Allen. John, good to have you with us. So what more can you tell us about Congresswoman Tlaib's comments? How did we get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, this is a clear play to try to get votes against Biden in the primary, not to prevent Joe Biden from winning the party's nomination, but essentially to act as a cudgel against him and his policy by showing him the force that could be brought to bear in a general election if Arab Americans in particular, and certainly those who support the Palestinian side in this conflict with Israel, if they decide not to vote for him in the general election.
Agreed, and this is the best way to go about it. Stop telling people not to vote for Biden in the general. Tell them not to vote for Biden in the primary. You know, show him the numbers. Show him that people don't like what he's doing, and that people will be a lot less likely to vote for him in the primary if he continues. I think that's fine. That's good pressure to put on him.
Between 250,000 and 300,000 Arab Americans in Michigan, and Joe Biden won Michigan by 150,000 votes last time. The math isn't quite that simple, as there are twice as many votes to leave on the table potentially, but there is some crossover in that universe, and I think what Congresswoman Tlaib is trying to do is essentially threaten Joe Biden if he doesn't change his policy.
What is some of the response?
Keep in mind, Joe Biden, all right, Genocide Joe is literally, enabling a genocide being committed by the Israeli government. all right, by Benjamin Netanyahu. He is enabling that, all right? They're our brat problem child, and we're just letting them go on a rampage unabated.
Hearing to Tlaib's criticism, including from the Michigan Democratic chair.
So I support Rashida.
Yeah, the response is that this is not the way the way to get the president to change his policy. It's not the way.
Well, then what is?
I mean, if you heard that video just a moment ago, Congresswoman Tlaib said that her point of view is not being seen, that her community is not being seen. I don't think the issue is that President Biden doesn't hear what Arab Americans who are on the side of.
You're right. That's not the issue. The issue is that he doesn't give a shit. So we're going to make him give a shit.
The Palestinians in this are saying, it's not that he doesn't hear it. He hears it all the time. He hears it at his events. There are protesters.
He should hear it more. He should hear it in his sleep. He should hear it in his dreams, okay? He should hear it from the great beyond saying, Joe Biden, you have 2 years, Joe Biden, to stop Netanyahu. Joe Biden, you have 2 years. Actually, you have like 6 months, I think. Yeah, 6 months, 6 years to stop. You know what I mean? Like, he should be hearing that all the fucking time.
From his staff, he hears it from members of Congress, like Congresswoman Tlaib. The issue is that he doesn't agree with them.
He should.
That the U.S. government, it's not that they don't see Congresswoman Tlaib, it's that the U.S. government.
If he doesn't agree, then fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, in the primaries, at least. Like, if he's our best shot against Trump, then whatever. But I guarantee you he's not our best shot. If you put in a spry, young, progressive Democrat, you'd have a much better chance against Donald Trump. That's what people are looking for, is a spry, young, progressive, loud, outspoken Democrat. Fresh fucking meat. Okay? What is this spoiled garbage? Dubsy, put on up an image of Joe Biden and all his glory. Okay? And all his glory over here. All right, look at this shit. Like, what, you expect them to just puppet this guy around until his dying breath? I think not. Okay? We need somebody younger and more willing to listen to us. More importantly.
Policy is different from that. So what you're hearing from Democrats, including the chair of the Michigan Democratic Party, is that this really isn't the way to try to change the policy, and that it doesn't make sense to weaken.
Then what is? He's not going to give a solution. The problem is, by saying this isn't the way, Sweaty, is that you never give another solution. It's always just stop this, stop. Okay. Now, we're going to get back to our genocide. No, stop. No, stop. No, you stop. No, stay. Good boy. Good. Okay. Now we're going to get back to our genocide. Bye. Like, that's it. Like, that's how it goes.
The party's eventual nominee heading into the general election.
Yeah, I mean, and sort of the big picture here is this may not be an issue when it comes to the primary for President Biden, but it could be a big problem when it comes to winning Michigan, a swing state in November. Trump won that state in 2016, then candidate Biden won. You said 150,000 votes. It's about 3 percentage points.
Okay, but at this point, you're not turning people toward Trump. You're turning people against Biden. And in the primary, that's fine. Once the primary is over and Biden's the front runner, which is probably going to happen, then we all have to suck his toes, okay? Not that I think about that at all. But then we would have to, like, lick his boots, right? Not that I think about that at all. But then we would have to just let him step on us. Not that you guys get my point, okay? You guys get it.
Points. Biden does now have the major endorsement of the United Auto Workers Union there. But just overall, how critical, how tight is this battleground state going to be in November?
Look, there are ways for Joe Biden to win the presidency without winning Michigan, but it's certainly a lot harder if he loses Michigan, just in terms of electoral vote count. I think.
But they're already conflating. Rashida Tlaib never said don't vote for Biden in the general. We're getting into the dangerous zone of olfacto podophilia.
You know, the ways in which Michigan voters' tendencies tend to reflect also what's going on in Wisconsin.
I would never do it for Joe Brandon. I would do it for his son, though. His son seems cool.
And Pennsylvania, I mean, the states sort of tend to move in the same direction. So I think it's a critical state for Joe Biden. I think one of the big questions here, though, is for him, what would happen if his position changed? If suddenly he said,
now people will vote for him.
The United States doesn't stand with Israel.
Then everyone on the left will shut the fuck up and vote for him, okay? That's what will happen. What are you talking about? That's called winning over your constituents. Even I know this shit. I'm an idiot. These
and
people
instead
are paid to
is
talk
standing
like this,
fully
by the
with
way.
the Palestinian side in this. What we don't see is what the reaction to that would be. And I suspect that there would be a very strong reaction to that that would cause him as much, if not more, political problem in Michigan, as well as several other states that
Press
will be
X to
pivotal
doubt.
in the general.
No, I refuse to accept that. Young people, the zeitgeist is moving left. People don't like Israel, okay? Nobody likes Israel anymore. Not even the fucking conservatives, hardly. It's just rad libs. It's just rad libs.
Election.
All right, John, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay up.
Okay. That's not all. I did want to go over one other thing. As I said, NBC News is not very happy with them right now. Here, let me find it. Vote. I had it. Here it is. So MSNBC says, Democratic strategist on Tlaib, you don't slap the president in the face. Let's take a look at what's going on here.
New video, it was posted to X. Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is telling her constituents to vote uncommitted instead of voting for President Biden in the Michigan primary,
Agreed.
Don. Any concerns that Michigan voters who followed Tlaib's advice think it applies to the general election too?
No, yeah.
No, that's not the case. Okay? Like, no, and if that is the case, she can release a clarifying statement and say, like, okay, first of all, she can't just say, well, in the video, well, if Joe Biden does get it, we kind of have to vote for him. But hey, just don't do it in the like, you can't do that. That's not pressure. Okay? You do have to pressure Joe Biden a little bit here. All right? Now, once Joe Biden, once again, gets the nomination, you can say, yeah, this is the hand we've been dealt, guys. We must vote for him. This is the hand we've been dealt. Not because I want to, guys. All right? I told you guys to vote against him in the primary. I don't like Joe Biden, but he's better than Trump, so vote for him. Okay? But you can't do that here.
Yes, because you're talking to a voter who's not extraordinarily informed, and there might be some confusion there. But let's talk about how the realities of politics works in Washington, D.C. I got a lot of friends and family in Detroit. I care a lot about that proud Black community. What up, though, to all the folks in Detroit? When Jalen Rose Leadership Academy and Wayne State and Cass Tech don't get the proper appropriations from the Democratic administration, the Democratic president, remember it's because your Democratic congresswoman told them to not vote for the Democratic president.
Dog, you're just holding them hostage. What? That's an insane state. Wait, did I hear that right?
I got a lot of friends and family in Detroit. I care a lot about that proud Black community. What up, though, to all the folks in Detroit? When Jalen Rose Leadership Academy and Wayne State and Cass Tech don't get the proper appropriations from the Democratic administration, the Democratic president, remember it's because your Democratic congresswoman told them to not vote for the Democratic president in the primary.
So what he's doing is he's basically telling the universities, like, the Democrats aren't going to fund you if your senator's doing this. That's pretty disgusting, man. That's just gross. You're just holding them hostage.
She won't have the excuse that, well, I was saying primary, not general. You don't slap the president in the face and then expect to be treated as a member of the caucus.
Who does this guy represent? Democratic strategist. Yeah, man, that's disgusting. If he looks like he's down by 5 to 10, he'll show up. Yeah.
In good standing. And so Rashida Tlaib is not there to represent the squad. She's not there to represent Palestine. While there's merit in all those things, you're there to represent your hometown constituency in the city of Detroit.
No. People care about Palestine. You know why? Because people are dying over there. They matter just as much as my neighbors, okay? I care about the people of Palestine. So if I had a choice between Biden supporting Palestine and Biden not supporting Palestine, supporting Palestine, then I'm going to take him supporting Palestine 100 times out of 100.
Detroit. And I will tell all my friends and family in Detroit that your congresswoman has failed you and frankly embarrassed you, and there could potentially be ramifications.
Wait, how has she failed anybody? All she said is don't vote for this guy. She said don't vote for him. He's aiding and abetting a genocide. Don't vote for him in the primary. Okay? If he's the better choice in the general, then yeah, vote for him. She didn't say that part, nor should she. But she will later, probably. He ain't even from Detroit. He's from Missouri. Voters must be uninformed if they are not following the status quo. Got it. Yeah. It seems like you both don't care about Palestine people or the people in Detroit who you're withholding funding or whatever the fuck he's threatening. Yeah, it straight up just screams that like we hold all the power and you can't do anything. This is the problem with the modern day Democratic Party. It's disgusting. What a disgusting freak. What a disgusting, reprehensible fucking piece of shit. Disgusting. Fuck you, man. Ew.
So, David, given Don saying that, little concern this could spill over, this advice and this suggestion from Rashida Tlaib could spill over to the general election, how much could the opposition in general from within his own party hurt President Biden in the campaign?
To defeat Joe Biden. I'm a Sunday optimist. I don't like to be a sourpuss, but if you want to see Donald Trump beat Joe Biden, then you have voices of Charlemagne and Rashida Tlaib questioning Joe Biden's leadership.
No, that's not how this works. None of you fucking listen. None of them listen.
He's not
this is what lost them in 2016.
That's how you do it.
This is exactly what lost them in 2016. And they're doing it again.
Democrats have been given a historic opportunity with an alliance of independents and disaffected Republicans.
No, it's almost like they showed up with the Democrats. What? Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what would help Donald Trump lose the election is if Joe Biden was a good fucking candidate to run. Okay, have you ever thought about that? Maybe get somebody out there who's not 90 fucking years old losing his goddamn marbles. You're puppeting him around like a fucking rag doll, man. No, I refuse to accept this. This is nobody's fault but you. You! How dare you try to show this bullshit onto us? I think not.
Coalition in 18 and 20 and 22. And you're telling me going into
the coldest winters,
that a sitting Democratic Congresswoman and a leading voice on the left are going to say, man, we don't know about our guy. Maybe we shouldn't support him. That's a bunch of hot garbage, Alex. And if those voices don't fall in line, don't expect the coalition to be there in November that you need to defeat Donald Trump.
How utterly reprehensible, man. I can't stand it. These fucking Democrats never learn their lesson, and they never will. And until young people infiltrate the party and actually start making it a progressive party. I've said this before. The two good parts. One is that the Democrats aren't nearly as bad as Republicans, but we all know that. The other good part that people don't really consider is that Democrats are forced to at least pretend they care about us, right? And so they have to run on policies demonstrating that they pretend to care about us. The problem with this strategy is eventually you'll have people leaking in who actually do care, and you are not going to be able to distinguish them from the people who are faking it. And you can't either. You can't. People are just going to see two people next to each other running very similar platforms, but one's more progressive than the other. And if they like the progressive one, then they'll vote for the progressive one. And if you try to stop that from happening, if you try to stop people from being able to run because of their policies, people are going to start catching on and they're not going to be happy, And so they're running this very delicate balancing act of trying to maintain the status quo while also appearing progressive. And you cannot do both. You can't. Because progressive, right? Progress. You cannot just stop. You can't. Not forever. The progress must go. Okay? If you claim to be the progressive party, eventually you have to progress. Okay? Rashida Tlaib's a fucking hero for what she said. She's been getting blasted left and right, all because she's the only fucking... Is she like the only Palestinian House member, by the way? One of, right? I think she's the only one. And look at how much shit she's getting. From both the Republicans and the Democrats. No fucking wonder people don't want to vote for him.
I wouldn't even mind Giuseppe Biden losing his mind if he was at least funny about it, but he isn't. As much as I despise Trump, he's unintentionally funny.
That's also true. Biden is the nice old man that won't do shit. Trump is the charismatic fascist who will, bring the country to shit. So that's your choices, and as much as I'm still on board with voting Democrat no matter what, I still support these efforts to make it so that Joe Biden either drops out of the primary and they run someone else, or that Biden changes some shit around. Like I said, this is the same shit they were doing in 2016, and they're going to blame the left all the way down. And all I can hope is that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? All I can hope is that the Republicans somehow lose. I still think they will. I still think it'll happen. But, look at the like to dislike ratio on this. Like, seriously. Like, I know a lot of conservatives are on here. Most of these comments are probably conservative now that I think about it. Yeah, see, never interfere with your enemy when they're in the process of destroying themselves. That's conservative. Dear MSNBC, Tlaib's district is not in Detroit. Her district was redrawn westward. Also, don't use the term fall in line. We're not young school children or sheep. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, fall in line. Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off with your line. Okay? I'll fall into it if the alternative is fascism. But right after that, I'm jumping the fuck back out of line. Once this election's over, guys, it is over for the Democrats. It's over. Okay? No holds barred. I'm going off the rails against these freaks. All right? But that's for another time. For right now, I guess we just got to deal with what the cards that were dealt. And just, if Joe Biden is the front runner, just pray that he can pull it together enough to squeak across the finish line in front of Trump. And then I'm done with him. And then fuck him. I can't stand him. I'm done with him. I can't do this anymore. Alec, who swings elections, independents. They're not breaking red so far. Am I to assume that this is you on the rails then? What do you mean? What do you mean, me on the rails? All right, let's... Looking drippy? Thank you. I like this shirt a lot. It's from my parents' closet. It's got Santa Claus on it. I'm a constituent of Representative Tenedar, but I think Rashida's Giga-based. She is. Oh, you said after the election you were going to go off the rails. It was a joke. No, that was me, like, holding back. I was definitely holding back. All right, guys, I got to take a quick break and lay down for a second. I am just extremely tired, so give me about 10 minutes. I apologize. I will be back shortly. Enjoy the music. realized it was a bit longer than 10 minutes. I apologize. I'm back. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. What's up? Had a brief siesta. We're good. Oh, wait. Where's my drink? One sec. We're not good yet. I want to get some water, too. Lady Nova, great point. Late to your own stream. That is true. All right, let's get into the next part, shall we, without further ado? Alrighty. So everybody's talking about, Democrat infighting, leftist infighting, because a lot of that's going on right now, what with the election and everything, and also Joe Biden, a.k.a. Genocide Joe, aiding and abetting a genocide over in the Gaza Strip. That being the case, I still think we should vote for him in the presidential election if his only opponent is Trump. But we did just get done looking at Rashida Tlaib and backlash from her statement that we should not vote for Joe Biden in the primary, a statement that I support strongly, by the way. We shouldn't. Next, we have a lady known as Nikki Haley, who hails from the other side of the political aisle, and she gave a speech in Greenville. I'm not entirely sure where that's at. There are a lot of Greenvilles. But apparently the speech was making the rounds, or at least some parts from it were, and I would just like to take a look at it. I don't know a whole lot about Nikki Haley. I do know that she wants a few weird things, like she wants to raise, from what I've heard, she wants to raise the retirement age to 70 from 65, and she wants to repeal Social Security. Basically, she just wants to instill ANCAP-istan, is what it comes down to. So let's see what she has to say in her little speech right here. No copyright.
Today.
Hold on. What is this music or this volume?
Thank you all for being here. It's another great day in South Carolina.
It's such a weird effect. What's going on?
And we're hoping for an even better day on Saturday. Early voting is underway. I have a quick reminder.
Now, Nikki Haley did pretty good not in Iowa. I forget which one. I call it tin can reverb. She did really good in one of the primaries. I think it was maybe, I don't remember which one. But anyway, she did pretty good in one of the primaries. Still does not hold a candle to Trump. Make no mistake, she's not winning anything. She's Nikki Haley. She's not Trump. So she's not winning anything, but she is doing better than people anticipated. So my guess is that they're trying to make her the new DeSantis, but just enough people are not getting on board. So weird seeing sunlight on the screen when it's dark outside for me. Yeah, time zones are weird. She believes in lost cause, too. I'm not sure what that is. You'll have to explain. They need to just hire me to do these events. This audio's cooked. I know, it's really weird.
To all South Carolinians.
It's fine.
In a general election, you're given a choice. In a primary, you make your choice.
That is true.
Make sure you make the right choice. Make your voices heard today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. Some of you, perhaps a few of you in the media, came here today to see if I'm dropping out of the race.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not.
Lost cause, i.e. the North aggression argument for the Civil War. Oh, it's the Civil War. Yeah. No, she's saying that like, yeah, no, she said before that like the Civil War wasn't about slavery, or when asked directly what it's about, she could not answer slavery. Yeah. I know that. Which, by the way, like 3 hours of this whole thing was just staring. 258.31 was just like stare. Oh, I guess somebody else spoke, but like it was just staring at this the entire time. Like, what the fuck is going on? What was it 258.31?
Thank you all for being here. It's another great day in South Carolina, and we're hoping for an even better day on Saturday. Early voting is underway. I have a quick reminder to all South Carolinians. In a general election, you're given a choice. In a primary, you make your choice.
Still true.
Make sure you make the right choice. Make your voices heard today, tomorrow, and on
even
Saturday.
Trump could say it.
Some of you, perhaps a few of you in the media, came here today to see if I'm dropping out of the race.
Oh.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, slay queen. Slay, my robotic queen. Slay. The androids have arrived.
Far from it, and I'm here to tell you why. I'm running for president because we have a country to save.
Bye, Owl.
Since the start of my campaign, I've been focused on the real issues our country faces. The ones that determine whether America will thrive or spiral out. I'm talking about the millions of students who don't know how to read or do basic math.
Or work deep fryers. Make them work more deep fryers.
The families who can't afford groceries, much less a first home. The total lawlessness on our southern border. I'm talking about the murders in our cities, the fentanyl on our...
What lawlessness do they ever refer to? They refer to, like, drugs, I guess, but, like, most drugs comes from white people, right? Like, it's not peddled in. It's, like, made here. Isn't it? I could be wrong about that. But I think that's the case.
Streets, the children who've been
killed
in
violent
their
crime's been
mom's
going down
car
for years, yeah.
by stray bullets.
Here's the thing about violent crime. It has been on a decline. Like, it was on a decline up until 2020. It went up a little bit during 2020, and now it's on the decline again. And that's because 2020 is the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus COVID. But anyway, yeah, they always fearmonger about this because people only go off of what they see in media. And so if they're seeing a lot of crime, which is what they're going to see because it's the news, then they're just going to assume that, like, crime is everywhere. And so conservatives can just latch onto this narrative with absolutely no evidence or anything that, like, anything is out of the ordinary.
And I'm talking about the American weakness that led to wars in Europe and the Middle East, and the urgent need to restore our strength before war spreads and draws America further in.
Oh, boy.
These are the challenges I'm here to tackle. But instead of
my fascist radar is ringing off the chain, man.
Focusing on how to make America stronger tomorrow, some people want to know if I'm going to cave today.
Do it, cave.
We've all heard the calls for me to drop out.
Me, smile.
We all know where they're coming from. The political elite, the party bosses, the cheerleaders in the commentator world. The argument is familiar.
Them.
They say I haven't won a state. That my path to victory is slim. They point to the primary polls and say I'm only delaying the inevitable.
It's true.
Why keep fighting when the battle was apparently over after Iowa? Look, I get it. In politics, the herd mentality is enormously strong. A lot of Republican politicians have surrendered to it. The pressure on them was way too much. They didn't want to be left out.
She will strip Social Security, whether you like it or not.
Of the same politicians who now publicly embrace Trump, privately dread him. They know what a disaster he's been.
That's probably true.
And will continue to be for our party.
She is correct there, by the way. Like, the people, like, openly supporting Trump, a lot of them, like, privately hate him. because of all like the optics fucking disaster that he's become.
They're just too afraid to say it out loud.
That is also true.
Well, I'm not afraid to say the hard truths out loud. I feel no need to kiss the ring.
I'm not going to get over that robot effect. It's a good filter. It's fun.
I have no fear of Trump's retribution.
I respect it.
I'm not looking for anything from him. My own political future is of zero concern. So I hear what the political class says, but I hear from the American people too. I've heard from a retired Army medic who looked evil in the eye.
Yeah, I wonder what that medic wanted. Do you think that he wanted A, more health care, B, to work over the age of 65, or C, to get his Medicaid reduced? Which one do you think that he wanted?
When he says we're headed toward disaster, that American lives are on the line, he knows what he's talking about. He knows we can't afford more of the same. That's why he told me to give him hell.
This is so boring. She's like moderately charismatic, but like, I don't know. It does not hit the same as Trump. It can't.
I've heard from a mom who promised to email me every day, and she does. She just wants a return to normalcy.
Which is what?
She wants me to keep running for the sake of her 4-year-old son.
What does that mean?
She hopes he'll see the, quote, America she grew up in. An America that's strong and proud and united.
This is just fascist rhetoric. They're just gesturing at like a time when America was strong and whatever. And it's like, no, you never thought America was like that. When did you think that America was like that? When we were fighting for civil rights? No. When we were fighting the Nazis? No. When we were, I don't know, what else? We can go back and back. Like, you hate America. You always have hated America. You just gesture back and back and back at a time that never actually existed. Okay? Things were not good for most Americans most of the time during our history. It's never been good. It's just been less sucky at some point.
And I've heard from a high school student who just last week came to hear me speak. She asked me to sign a note to her teacher explaining her absence.
Okay.
After growing up amid the chaos and anger of the last few years, she finally has hope.
That's really tacky to ask a fucking politician to sign your note so that you don't have to go to gym class. By the way, if my student came to me with a note from Nikki Haley saying that she missed gym class, I'm giving her an F.
America will make it if
don't give a shit. You should have been in gym class, dumbass.
I'm constantly hearing from Americans like these, hundreds a day, thousands a week, and hundreds of thousands since I declared my candidacy. They see the same polls as me, but more importantly, they have the same belief as me.
I have to speed this up.
They believe in America. They believe America can do so much better, that we must do better. And they know when the country's future is on the line, you don't drop out. You keep fighting. In fact, you fight harder than ever.
Okay, yeah, America used to be great. We must fight harder. We must fight harder. We must fight harder. But for what? To what end? Like, you keep saying the same shit over and over. It doesn't mean anything. Her chip's failing, yeah.
That's why I refuse to quit.
The Matrix is shuddering.
On Saturday. But on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere.
I wish you would. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. Bye.
I'm campaigning every day until the last person votes. Because I believe in a better America and a brighter future for our kids.
You know something Trump has that she doesn't? Fucking mugshot. Dubsy, throw it up on the screen. Look at my boy over here. What a beautiful man. Love you. Love you, you beautiful man.
Nothing good in life
not like this
comes
wretch.
easy. I'm willing to take the cuts, the bruises, and the name calling.
Oh, she'll take all the cuts. She will take all the tax cuts she can get, baby.
Because the only way you get to the blessing is by going through the pain. Dropping out would be the easy route. I've never taken the easy route. I've been the underdog in every race I've ever run. I've always been David, taking on Goliath. And like David, I'm not just fighting someone bigger than me.
You can't just say, like, I'm David, and I'm running against Goliath. Like, you sound so pretentious, man.
I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. I'm used to people questioning my intentions. So I'll make
also, me, my, I. Like, what are you talking about? When you hear a good politician speak, you use plural pronouns, plural possessive, okay? Plural first person, I should say. Our, okay? We are fighting. Our country, our nation, our plan, okay? What is this first person? Yeah, pronouns. If they had simply learned pronouns in school, maybe they could give better speeches.
Few things clear. Some people used to say I was running because I really wanted to be vice president.
It is the easy route, being a GOP person.
I think I've pretty well settled that question.
What question?
Be vice president. Some people used to say I was running because I really wanted to be vice president.
That ain't happening now.
I think I've pretty well settled
I'll hand her
question.
that. I will hand her this. Here's what I will say about Nikki Haley. She did one thing very well, and I've said this before. She did the only thing that no other candidate was willing to do, and that's rail against Donald Trump. And that's the only shot that anybody had of beating Donald Trump. There are a few problems. One, Nikki Haley's not nearly charismatic enough. Two, Nikki Haley did not rail against him nearly hard enough. Three, Nikki Haley's a woman. Straight up, like, that's the biggest issue you have right there. Okay, I'm sorry, a woman's not beating Donald Trump. It's not happening. But, once again, she had the only winning strategy. The only one. And it shows. So kudos for that.
Other people say I'm trying to set up a future presidential run.
I believe
that. How does that even work?
How does that work? If the conservatives win, then she doesn't have to run because there will be no more democracy. If the Democrats win, she won't be able to run because the GOP will be fucking dead.
If I was running for a bogus reason, I would have dropped out a long time ago. The rest of the fellas already did that. They have their own plans. I don't judge them, but I'm still here.
She's saying nothing.
I'm fighting for what I know is right.
Which is
what? What the party leaders and political elites want. I'll keep fighting until the American people close the door.
On what?
That day is not today, and it won't be on Saturday. Not by a
That's
long
what happens when you have to pad out your essay with a few thousand more words, man. Come on, spit it out. What's your point?
The presidential primaries have barely begun. Just 3 states have voted.
Yeah, got it.
3. That's it. After this weekend,
yeah, rail against Trump more.
That's not a lot. In the 10 days
Tell me
after
what a
South
big,
Carolina,
orange, sweaty
another
mess he
21
is.
states and territories
Call him fat.
will vote.
I usually don't like fat
People
jokes.
have a
I'll take it
right
here.
to have their voices heard.
Literally anything.
And they deserve a real choice, not a Soviet-style election where there's only one candidate and he gets 99% of the vote.
What? Hold on.
People have a right to have their voices heard. And they deserve a real choice, not a Soviet-style election where there's only one candidate and he gets 99% of the vote.
What is she referring to here? Is she referring to Trump or Biden? Maybe only 1% was you, Nikki? Sorry, my brain's a little soup right now. Trump and her? Okay, gotcha. Okay, she has been talking about Trump this whole time, so probably Trump, yeah.
We don't anoint kings in this country. We have
true.
Elections. And Donald Trump, of all people, should know we don't rig elections.
She's not wrong on that. See, the things she says against and about Donald Trump are completely correct.
Americans of every belief and background are tired of our national mess. They don't want more chaos and craziness. They worry about a national collapse. If I weren't in the race, we'd be reading the exact same storyline every day until November 5th. There would be widespread reports of Americans suffering from a bad case of Biden-Trump fatigue. And it would be true. No,
she is literally like femme Mitt Romney. You're right, Guitar Rocker. She's like just femme Mitt Romney. That's a really good catch. She's like the, she's like if you took Mitt Romney. Okay, you know what it is? I got it. She's the libertarian love child of Mitt Romney and Sarah Palin. There you go.
A stunning 70% of the country doesn't want a Biden-Trump rematch. The
and I say Sarah
majority of
Palin
Americans
because she's a woman and
don't
I'm
just dislike
misogynist.
one candidate. They dislike both. As a country, we've never seen such dissatisfaction
That is true, by
with
the way.
the leading candidates. We've never had so many Americans mired in pessimism and division.
Also
We
true.
still have a chance to restore their faith. I will fight as long as that chance exists. Now, I
white
know
women
what
look all
Donald
the
Trump is
same.
saying. He wants an election with no opponent. But
That
that's
includes you,
not what the
trans
voters
women.
are saying. Despite being a de facto incumbent, Donald Trump lost 49% of the vote in Iowa. In New Hampshire, Trump lost 46% of the vote.
Okay, but like, he still won 51% of it. That's still like leaps and bounds better than any other candidate did. Like, what? How did he do in 2016? I'm curious. Iowa caucus 2016 election results. Yeah, Ted Cruz. Cruising at 27.6%. Donald Trump only got 24.3%. I'd say he's doing pretty good. You know? Like, what do you mean only 51%?
That's not good. We're talking about almost half of our voters. What does it say about an incumbent who's losing nearly half of his party?
That doesn't make any sense. That's how the caucus works.
It spells disaster in November. We shouldn't silence those voters like Trump wants. They have the right to keep speaking out.
True suck.
Trump sees this. That's why he and his allies are now trying a different tack. They're saying I'm helping Joe Biden by staying in. Let's unpack that for a second.
Wait, what?
First things first.
That
Joe
doesn't make
Biden
any
is doing
sense.
more damage to himself than any Republican ever could.
That is, unfortunately, a very good point. Gotta give her that one.
Every time he opens his mouth, he sounds like his mind is closing up shop. The
They're not going to say anything about the real reason why, though.
Democrats are getting weaker by holding a coronation for Biden. Republicans will get stronger through a vigorous competition.
You know what would make you stronger? Advocate for some good fucking policy. Hey, I would absolutely switch to Republican tomorrow if I thought that a Republican would be more progressive than Joe Biden. But that's not the case, right? Like, if they actually advocated for some good fucking economic policy, maybe I'd consider them. Has anybody ever actually thought about that? Like, if Republicans came forward with some good fucking policy, I'd consider them. But they simply don't. They don't care. All right? Neither do the Dems, but at least they have to pretend to care. She still hasn't brought up anything policy related. That's a great catch again. You're on it today, Guitar Rocker. Very good. Yeah, she said nothing so far.
We have plenty of time to hash this out. If the race ended today, we would have the longest general election in history. There are still 8.5 months before Election Day. Do we really want to spend every day from now until November watching America's two most disliked politicians duke it out? No sane person wants that. But there's another reason Trump is wrong.
I really don't think that she would beat Biden, though.
At the end of the day, the only candidate who's helping Joe Biden is Donald Trump.
Yeah, Nikki and Trump.
Because Trump is the only Republican Biden can beat. The Democrats know it.
That's simply not true. Trump is the only Republican that can beat Biden. There might be a few others. Like, I don't know. Maybe Ted Cruz could pull it off. Maybe Greg Abbott. But, like, Ron DeSantis never had a chance in hell. Like they're just not charismatic enough.
They don't even try and conceal it.
Trump min-maxed his Riz.
The glee at the prospect
He min-maxed his Riz, then his intelligence and wisdom paid for it.
Of running against Trump. They want to win. So they want the guy they've already beaten time and again. Trump knows it too,
Riz over Wiz.
but he won't admit it. True to form, he's taking out his anger on others. He's getting meaner and more offensive by the day. He's trying to bully me and anyone who supports me.
The last thing the conservatives want is for their candidate to be really mean and rude. They've been screaming, "Please, Trump, please, calm down with how mean you are." Right? That's a thing.
He says they'll be barred from MAGA permanently. That's not the way you win elections. Well, I've dealt with bullies my entire life. They don't intimidate me. They only motivate me further. And I've never met a bully I couldn't take on.
Just say anything. What are your policy positions? I honestly watched this because I thought, hey, maybe this is a good chance to learn about what Nikki Haley is about. What she brings to the table. You know, what awful deeds she has in store for the off chance in whatever universe this might happen that she beats Trump. You know? That'd be nice. It'd be nice to know the alt universe version where Nikki Haley has a shot in hell against Trump. But we're not getting that. Not from this, at least.
There are those who will try and paint
I can't believe I'm
as
sped
never
up, by
Trump.
the way.
That's not who I am.
I almost want to speed
Never
it up
have
more.
been. I supported Trump in 2016 and in 2020. I was proud to serve America in his cabinet.
Okay.
My purpose has never been to stop Trump at all costs. Like most Americans, I have a handful of serious concerns about the former president. But I have countless serious concerns about the current president. Okay. Joe Biden has turned our country upside down.
Because of immigration, right? Say it. Say he opened the border. Say he's letting the brown people flood in. The brown people are coming for the suburbs, guys. You don't understand. They're gonna take your wife and daughter. You know, they're gonna shove fentanyl into your local cop's vehicle, and cause him to spontaneously combust. Right? No, go on, please.
It's not normal for millions of migrants to illegally cross our border without
There it
being
is.
stopped.
See? Called it.
It's not normal for our schools to be more focused on gender pronouns
There it is.
than
Yep.
reading and math. It's not
Once again, if you had actually learned some fucking pronouns, you would use we, us pronouns, okay? We, us, our country, our policies, our nation. We will do it. We will succeed. We, okay? It's pronouns. This is effective rhetoric 101. Learn it.
normal to have skyrocketing prices and soaring crime. And it's not normal.
There's no soaring crime.
To have wars raging in Europe
It's not happening.
and the Middle East. All of that.
The cake is a
on
lie.
Joe Biden. But he's not the only one.
Now, what'd she say about the Middle East? I missed it.
And soaring crime. And it's not normal to have wars raging in Europe and the Middle East.
Okay, first of all, that second one is not true. Okay? The war in the Middle East has been going on since like the fucking 60s. And I'm sure there's been conflict there before that. I know there has been. I'm not very good at history, but I know for a fact there has been. As far as like the war in Europe, that's really not the United States' fault. Okay? Like nothing we did or could have done caused that or stopped that. You know? Like it just is what it is. And so we're helping Ukraine. And I think that's good.
All of that is on Joe Biden. But he's not the only one who's replaced normalcy with chaos. Donald Trump has done that too. It's not normal to insult our military heroes and veterans.
Wait, when did he do that? Did he insult our veterans? I don't think Biden ever did that. She just keeps saying the bad things that Biden is doing and the bad things that Trump's doing because she knows that her policies suck ass. All she's telling me here is that is don't look at my policies. Please don't look at my policies. They're bad. They're the bad ones. Go look over there. Go avert your eyes. Pay not attention to the woman behind the screen, behind the curtain. She's only an illusion. She is not raising the age of retirement to 70. She is not striking Social Security from the table. Pay no mind. They're bad, not me.
It's not normal to spend $50 million in campaign contributions on personal court cases. It's not normal to threaten people who back your opponent. And it's not normal to call on Russia to invade NATO countries. Donald Trump has done all of that.
That is true as well.
And more in just the past month.
I don't know. I kind of support my queen here. She's like saying a lot of shit that Trump has done. She's airing it. She's airing Trump's faults. You know what? Critical support.
Look, I've said it many times. I think Donald Trump was the right president at the right time.
Yeah, we're finally on some policy-related discussion, so we can kind of glean some of the things that she believes, like that Ukraine should get the aid, if anybody, definitely not Russia, though, so that's good at least. You know, like there shouldn't be wars going on, obviously, like who doesn't believe that? But like we're still not getting anything that she does want to actually do. They're all negatives, you know? They're all, I won't do this. I won't do that. I won't do this. Okay, well, what will you do? You know, that's what I'd like to know.
But times change, and so has Trump. He's gotten more unstable and unhinged. He spends more time in courtrooms than he does on the campaign trail. He refuses to debate. He's completely distracted, and everything is about him. He's so obsessed with his own demons from the past, he can't focus on delivering the future Americans deserve.
True queen.
We have two hugely flawed candidates in Biden and Trump. Americans know it. They've been saying it for years, and we all know why. Trump and Biden are two old men who are only getting older.
Conservatives do hate debate.
Nearly 60% of Americans say Trump and Biden are both too old to be president, because they are. We've all seen them fumble their words and get confused about world leaders. That's not who you want in the Oval Office when Russia launches a nuclear weapon at our satellites or China shuts down our electricity grid. We're talking
about... Okay.
About the most demanding job in human history. You don't give it to someone.
China can just do that, apparently.
You give it to.
We got the Chinese leader, whatever their name is, with his hands on the switch, and it's just labeled like American electricity, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You better do what I say." And then everything just goes off. My live stream cuts. Cut the feed. The electricity's gone out. The Chinese got their way. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, that guy.
Someone who's disciplined. Someone who can work
Winnie the
day
Pooh
and
with his
night
big
for
mittens.
8 straight years. No vendettas. No.
I could go for the smackaroo of honey. Oh, is it behind this big switch? No. Wait, don't.
Drama. Just results. Even if Trump and Biden weren't too old.
Xi Jinping, yeah, that guy.
Americans still oppose them because they know what they'll do. They've already done tremendous damage, and they're just getting started. Biden has crippled families with years of inflation. He's put welfare over work and doled out more corporate welfare than any president ever. Meanwhile, Trump added more to the national debt than any president in history.
True.
And it wasn't because of COVID, no matter how many times he tries that excuse. Now he wants to put a 10% tax hike on every single American.
Let her cook.
Just like Biden, Trump will devastate families and destroy good-paying jobs.
Wait, I don't think Trump's going for any tax hikes. You'd have to substantiate that. I could be wrong.
We need to shift our economy into overdrive, not reverse.
Yeah, and guess how you do that? Want to know how you do that? Give normal people money. Not rich people. Give normal people money.
Most importantly, we need a president who protects America. Biden has failed this basic duty. As commander-in-chief, he tried to cut the military. He's made us weaker while our enemies get stronger. He withdrew from Afghanistan in a way that encouraged our enemies to do whatever they want. 3 years later, Russia has invaded Ukraine. Hamas has murdered Israeli women and children in their beds. China is launching unprecedented cyber attacks on American infrastructure. Iran is killing American soldiers.
What is China doing to American infrastructure? Like, I know they're spying, but they always have been. You know? Like
At the same time, Donald Trump has plenty of his own problems on national security.
Everyone spies on us.
He's all but said he's going to abandon Ukraine. That's a massive gift to Vladimir Putin.
That's true.
Now Trump is inviting Putin to invade
critical
NATO
support.
Those are the same countries that stood with us after September 11th. Of course we should ask them to pay more. We should demand it. But abandoning them will only bring more war. Putin is already planning his next move.
Have we counted how many shots she's fired? It doesn't matter. She's not going to win.
He's eyeing
She's
our
not beating
allies in
Trump.
the Baltics. A Russian attack would put America at war.
All she's doing, frankly, is splitting the party apart further. Like, there are going to be people who like Nikki Haley over Trump because there are people who have just never liked Trump, you know? And even the people who have liked Trump are moving away from him because of he's a fucking optics risk. So they've been trying to dump resources into Nikki Haley, and they, it's their Hail Mary. She is their Hail Mary. She's the last try before you finally concede and throw in the Trump towel, right? Fine, just grab the orange sweaty one and just throw it in. Whatever. Fine, we'll try, I guess. But they really want Nikki Haley.
Russia isn't the only country that smells blood in the water. When the dictators in Iran, North Korea, and communist China see America step back, they rush into the breach. They think America's time has passed, and their time has come. The truth is, Americans already know what Joe Biden and Donald Trump will do. But we're just as concerned with who they are. They're dividers at a time when America desperately, urgently needs a uniter. All they do is turn us against each other. Trump calls his fellow Americans vermin. Biden calls his fellow Americans fascist. Trump and
because some of them are. Those are not comparable, you fucking centrist prick.
Biden don't just demand that people pick sides. They demand that their followers hate the other side.
There's such a difference between calling somebody vermin and calling somebody a fucking fascist. One of them is a political implication, which you can support with evidence. The other one is simply an ad hom. All right, it can be a quite dangerous one as well. Hitler literally called his political opposition vermin and shit. He dehumanized. All right. At least when I call fascists vermin, I say you can revoke your vermin status by no longer being a fascist. I used to be a vermin, okay? I used to be a tick. I was never full fash, but I was pretty close to Christian ethno-nationalism, all right? Those were my talking points at one point. Now, that was a long time ago. That was even before college, all right? I was a stupid kid, raised by stupid parents that I love very dearly. I love you guys, but you did raise me like that, okay? Let's be real.
That's gotten us. Congress is too divided and broken to do its job. Families won't even talk to each other at the dinner table. We're separating into opposing camps that view each other as un-American, if not downright evil. These are dangerous times. The most important thing we can do is regain our focus and shared sense of purpose. The worst thing we can do is become even more distracted and divided.
Please.
The reason I'm running,
what will you do, lady?
The reason I continue to run is to remind everyone what it means to be an American.
Yeah, you're clearly not running to instill any policy.
I'm the proud daughter of legal immigrants. I grew up as a brown girl.
That's a line. Yeah, so is my dad, okay? My dad's dad came from Germany on a ship and immigrated. And it was very easy because they considered him white, all right? It's not as easy for people who aren't considered white or who come from across the border and from South America and all that, from Mexico, all right? It's not easy. And it's empty platitudes. Yeah, exactly.
Girl in a black and white world. I saw our state move beyond hatred and elect the first female minority governor in American history as a conservative Republican.
Oh, great. Wait, she's a minority? Fuck off with that. She's white passing as shit. Fuck off. No, you're not.
And in just a few days, my parents are going to cast their vote for their daughter for President of the United States.
Okay, yes, fascists are still human. I call them vermin because they act like vermin. Okay, if you want me to stop calling you vermin, stop acting like you're a fucking cockroach. Be a normal person.
I've thought this week about what that means to them, but I know what it says about our country. In the America I know and love, we disagree strongly, but we do it without hating each other and still have to
speak for yourself, okay? If I'm disagreeing with somebody who thinks that 13-year-old sexual assault victims should be forced to give birth, then yeah, I hate that person. I hate that person. Okay, because the alternative is being okay with that. So no thanks. I'm not okay with that, actually. I hate that person.
Same shared national purpose. In the America I know...
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't hate that person. I hate that person's beliefs. Okay? And I will express my hatred of their beliefs as such. All right. But I don't hate that person because I believe that that person can change. I believe that that person can grow and get better and be reformed. All right. So I don't hate that person. I may hate that person now, but I don't hate the existence of that person. I simply wish for that person to get better. Okay. So I take it back. You know what? The hatred is for the ideas. My love is for people. And I simply want fascists and people who believe that 13-year-olds should be forced to give birth. I simply want them to get better. That's all. I hate what they believe. Yes.
And love. We respect freedom, the rule of law. We refuse to use the awesome power of big government to punish those we dislike. And we recognize that America has done more good for more people than any country in the world. It's not America first to withdraw from the world. It's not America first to praise dictators who want to kill Americans. It's not America first to bankrupt Social Security by doing nothing to fix it.
Well, wait, I thought she wanted to roll it back. Here, wait, what's her policy? Instead of me just like spouting that, let's look up her actual stated policy. Nikki Haley wants to reform Social Security and Medicare. Donors are paying attention. Courage for advocating changes to an entitlement. Here it is. A top official in the influential political network associated with billionaire Charles Koch praised the former UN ambassador's courage for advocating changes to, quote, an entitlement system that makes promises it can't keep. Other establishment figures who have backed Haley or are taking a second look at her candidacy cite shoring up the nation's ailing Social Security system as a key priority and view her stance as an advantage over her rivals. We need a complete reevaluation of entitlements. Ken Langone, the billionaire co-founder of Home Depot. Yes. Oh, let's listen to what the billionaire co-founder of fucking Home Depot, right, has to say about entitlements. Yeah. What the hell is a guy like me doing getting $3,500 a month from the government? That's outrageous. I shouldn't get a nickel. Yeah, great question. Okay, give it back. Give it back. No. You go give it back now. What are you talking about? Go give it back then. You have the power to do that. Just go give it back. Fuck you. Well, I shouldn't really be getting this money. Okay, go give it back. Go on. Haley has called for several changes to the nation's safety net programs, including increasing the age at which today's younger workers would become eligible for Social Security retirement benefits and limiting the growth of the benefits the wealthy receive. So, yeah, she is trying to basically just cripple Social Security. She keeps saying like she's going to reform it. No, what she means is she's going to cripple it.
In fact, it's America last to keep losing one election after another to the socialist left. That's what we
I hate
get
these people
with
for
Donald
real.
Trump.
It's easy to hate them. They make it easy.
I'm running for president to restore a country that's strong and proud. That is why I will stay in the race
pay your
after
damn
South
taxes.
Carolina votes. And to my beloved fellow South Carolinians, I ask that you stand with me. Stand with your family, friends, and neighbors. See the America I see. And remember that we can still unite and move forward together. Not with anger, not with fear, but with faith and hope, like we've done before. Let's finally leave the past behind, and let's forge a new American future.
Is she done?
This vision has guided every generation. It summoned me to serve as governor of this great state and as ambassador for the greatest country in the world. And that same vision called my husband to serve in the uniform of the United States. He's a major in the South Carolina Army National Guard. As I prepare for what lies ahead, Michael is at the forefront of my mind.
I don't care about Michael. Oh, shut up. Really? That's getting applause. Okay. She's not even crying, man. She's not crying. She's like, she's just happy. She's like, I'm glad that dick's gone. Jesus Christ. Now I can finally go out with Chad. Chad promised me some spaghetti.
Power. I'm the proud daughter of legal immigrants. I saw our state move beyond hatred, and that's why I go by my middle name in personal and political endeavors.
True. Thank you for Saki Tanuki again for the tier 1 gifted subs, all 5 of them. Thank you very much. She just sounds like a slimy politician. Yes. Maybe she should tell her voters not to attack me or my trans siblings if she really wants to move forward. You would think. Yeah, 9/11. Woo! 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 Like, but literally. Chad said he'd take me out for some nice bruschetta.
I wish
some
Michael
brunch.
was here today. And I wish our children.
Then we go back and he rails
and
me.
I could see him tonight, but we can't. He's serving.
She's literally not crying. She's literally not. Like, this is all just voice inflections.
Out of the world, where conflict.
I don't buy it.
Where terrorists hide among the innocent, where Iran's terrorist proxies are now attacking American troops. This is Michael's second deployment. It was hard for us to say goodbye to him the first time when he deployed to Afghanistan. It was even harder last summer when he deployed to Africa.
Yeah, why is he there? For what purpose? That's a great question. If I could ask Nikki Haley a question, I'd say, hey, what is your husband fighting for? What's he fighting for? Oh, our freedom? Who's threatening our freedom? Who? Oh, Iran? Oh, okay. I haven't heard of Iran, like, sending anybody over. What, are they invading? Oh, they're not invading. Oh, we're just there to, collect resources and shit. To milk their country dry. Right. That's what he's fighting for. Right. Fuck your husband then.
Every military family knows.
And by the way, I don't usually say that about our veterans because I know that you got to have a job. And sometimes the veteran program is just like the way to go, et cetera, et cetera. Like, none of that. But it is true that if you are part of the American military, one of the things you fight for is the extraction of resources from other countries. That is simply an unavoidable fact. So you do what you got to do as an individual. But when you sit there and brag about how I was part of the United States government fighting to make sure that the Iranians didn't have none of their resources left. It's like, okay, good for you, man. You know what my friends did it for? They did it so they didn't starve to death.
Start the year-long prayer. It's a prayer for their safety more than anything else. But it's also a prayer of gratitude. The kids and I know why Michael went. He stepped up to keep us safe. And not just us.
Yes,
he
Debbie,
stepped
exactly.
up to defend our nation's freedom and our way of life. Michael is fighting for the country he loves. So are
all. By the way, yeah, good point, Lady Nova. Her husband is not on the front lines. If you think that her husband's on the front lines, I got news for you. Like, I could be wrong about this, but I'd be very surprised if her husband were actually on the front lines. That is insane. There's no shot, right? No shot. Like, her husband has a fucking office job in the military. There's no way. Sorry I'm late. What I missed? Just a lot of waffling. You didn't miss anything.
His brothers and sisters in arms wherever they're stationed in this dangerous world. They have made their stand because America is worth fighting and even dying for. Now I will continue to make my stand because America is worth living for. Thank you. God bless you. God bless South Carolina and God bless America.
God. That was the most pointless speech I've ever seen. It's just like, it wasn't uncharismatic. Like, she has more charisma, for instance, than the Sanctimonious, right? Like, she has more charisma than that motherfucker, but like, she's still like, she didn't say anything. It's all just fascist propaganda, and like, she's shilling for the fascists, basically, is what she's doing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to take a dap and start folding clothes then? All right. Well, you have fun with that. I unfortunately cannot get high right now. I guess I could, but I have boxing tonight. I'd rather not. At least Vivek had something to say. Yeah, Vivek did have something to say. He was cucking himself out to Trump, but at least it was something. She stopped sort of saying we all must be Christians. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it was all just like, again, it's all just fascist gesturing to like a better America. A time when there was definitely a better America, bro. I swear, bro. Trust me. Like, there was definitely a time when things were better, and we have to go back to that. Right? And that's exactly the same thing they did in Nazi Germany. So, Nikki Haley's not going to win. I'm not worried about it. I'm way more worried about Trump and what he can do against Biden. Once again, I will stress, I think Nikki Haley took the only approach that had any chance of working against Trump, and I commend her for that at least. I don't disagree with her on everything, but I disagree with her on enough. And so, therefore, I cast you out. Cast you out, Nikki Haley. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. No presidency for you. All right, enough electoralism. I'm bored of it. Let's move on to the next thing. Politics is boring. Let's do some reacts.
Hey, my friends, preteens are rejected.
Sorry, that was very loud. I really want to watch this one, though. What policies did the GOP even have? Death, destruction, misery, and sadness for all. We need more people voting for Joe Biden. Yeah, after the primaries, yes. Because Joe Biden is going to, unfortunately, be our front runner for some reason. Like, it literally hurts the Democrats. I don't know why they're doing it to themselves. I really don't. They're just, like, being stubborn. Excuse me. All right, let's get started with this. Has anybody in the audience ever had a youth pastor? Has anybody ever had a youth pastor? Because I have, and let me tell you something. For some reason, they all look just about the same, right? They got the beard. They got like a receding hairline, either like the peninsula like I got, or just like it's like escaping their head backwards slowly because it's just getting embarrassed, you know, more and more embarrassed. And I don't know, like they just all have that same kind of energy about them. They all have no drip. They're dripless motherfuckers, dripless. And this guy just screams all of that, you know? This is Tattooed Theist. He is apparently some kind of pastor. Here, actually, let's check. Let's look. Here we go. Western culture has turned Christianity into an odd thing, yet these things are now considered to be normal. You may find my channel controversial in nature. At least that's the hope. Oh, controversy. I love controversy. Support the ministry. So, yeah, he's a minister. Oh, he's got like a little Me6 thing. The Discord. The Discord membership thingy.
Hey, my friend.
Just like I have. Which you should go, join that if you want. There are many ways to support me. In fact, I'm going to be getting a Ko-Fi soon. I'm going to be opening up all the avenues for you guys to support me financially in whatever ways you can or prefer. For right now, you can go to youtube.com/eleganterttv/join. It's one way. You can go to my website and subscribe there. It's another way. You can go to Patreon. There's another way. Or you can join my Me6 Discord membership program. That's another way. So that's 4. And we're going to keep adding. But anyway, sorry. Kids are leaving church. We need a youth revival. Let's get right into it. No further ado.
Hey, my friends, preteens are rejecting several biblical teachings. Survey reveals. This comes from the Christian Post.
Oh no!
Says a prominent Christian researcher is warning.
Literally,
we are on the precipice of Christian invisibility.
What about Treat Stream? I've never heard of it. You'll have to link me.
In this nation,
yes, we'll do that too.
As new research shows that preteens are
pronounced coffee. If it's pronounced coffee, I'm still saying Ko-Fi.
Rejecting beliefs associated.
I'm not saying, oh, buy me a coffee. You want to buy me a coffee on coffee? Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute little... No, it's Ko-Fi. It's spelled like Wi-Fi, so I'm calling it Ko-Fi.
With a biblical worldview.
This dude gives serial killer vibes? Worse. Youth pastor vibes.
In a statement released last week, you
know what? A serial killer has one goal. Their goal is to kill a certain demographic of people. It's not good. All right? It's not good. But being a youth pastor, what do? You indoctrinate youth. Like, it's not like that's that much better. You're indoctrinating youth into a fucking cult. All right? Like, it's more complicated for one thing. I can at least appreciate the simplicity of a serial killer. You know what I mean? He, like, finds that one target demographic and he says, yes, this is my target. These are the ones that I want to kill. You know, it's very straightforward. But with somebody like this, it's like, what's your end goal? What do you think is going to happen? Like, they think that, like, they're going to go to heaven and, like, get 47 virgins or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Cultural Research Center at Arizona Christian University shared data about the worldviews held by children between the ages of 8 and 12 years old.
Okay.
The Cultural Research Center contrasted the views of the preteens with those of parents of children younger than 13, pastors of Christian churches, as well as teenagers. The findings of the research are based on responses from 400 preteens collected in December 2022, 600 parents of children younger than 13 gathered in January 2022, 600 pastors of Christian churches collected in February 2022, 400 teenagers gathered in November and December of 2022, and January 2023 survey of 2,000 adults. When asked if they believe that Jesus Christ is the only way to experience eternal salvation, based on confessing your sins and relying only upon his forgiveness of your sins, just 36% of preteens answered in the affirmative. 34% of parents and
Hold on. Based on confessing your sins and relying only upon his forgiveness of your sins. Wait, Jesus Christ, the only way to experience eternal salvation. Just 36% of preteens answered in the affirmative. Good. The fewer preteens who think that, the better. Hold on 1 second.
54%.
Sorry, 1 sec. What's up? Did you get my Discord messages? About the cats out there?
Yes.
We got that new tuxedo cat.
Yes.
And then that gray cat was in the box.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the fucking socks was spraying out there.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a problem.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Hopefully she's not already pregnant. For those who don't know, we have a bunch of stray cats out there, Stripes.
Stripes.
Because she's not fixed.
Yeah.
So I got to get those traps really soon.
We'll pray.
Well, she's out there pretty consistently now, so it shouldn't be too hard to trap her, hopefully.
Well, it also won't be too hard to tell if she is.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
To the people?
Yeah.
Hi.
Say hi to Katie,
Hi, everybody.
my fiance.
Yep.
You got to get kind of close.
Oh,
But, yeah,
like
it's
right
all-
here?
Yeah, it's all good, though. They can probably
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, cool. Hey, kids. Hey, Guitar. Hey, Nova. Hey, Vidya. Nice to see you guys. What are you guys talking about?
This is a youth pastor.
Oh.
He said kids are leaving the church. We need youth revival.
You need a religion check. You need a religion check,
Well,
my bro.
well, you went to a bunch of church meetings, right? Like
Yeah.
you're falling away from.
Oh, I'm gone.
Yeah,
Like, I'm off.
Yeah, you're basically out of Methodism.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basically out of Christianity.
That too,
To be
but
so
like
for real. Like,
yeah, but it's mostly because of their stances on like queer issues, right?
Yeah. That's like probably the biggest part of it. God, I would have to actually like sit down and tell Alec what 2000's youth pastors looked like.
They look like this.
It's not so much. No, they didn't have tattoos, and they.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, there wasn't really much ink. They were usually very skinny. And they usually had some sort of fashion thing that they would do to like make themselves seem like quirky and cool. Like one of the youth pastors I had wore Tom's shoes all the time. That was like his thing. Yeah, clean and they were usually clean shaven. Mine never had a faux hawk though, I will say. Yeah, no tats. Yeah, tuck your t-shirt into a skinny jean. Yeah, exactly.
1 sec. I don't know why streamers even have a YouTube chat if they never pay attention to it.
Continuing. But yeah, it's I would have to like sit down. I say as I get down on one knee. I would have to like sit down and actually think through like how old I was when like certain thoughts about religion and Christianity got into my head, about just kind of being like, you know, if God loves everyone, then why does he hate this group of people? I didn't like.
All right.
Yeah. I know like one of the first things that boggled my brain. Hello, Jesus.
Very phallic, isn't it?
It's That's a very concerning phallus.
I didn't.
I gotta tell you. I would not put that anywhere near me. But yeah, like I don't remember what exactly it was, but I was just kind of like, if there's this all-loving, all-powerful God and he gave us free will and everything, and like that's fine, like free will, we like that, that's fine. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, he gave us free will, but he created this world, so why does he allow like horrible things to happen in it? And I tried asking that question, and I was told, well, we have free will. And it's like, okay, but he's still all powerful. So can't he stop people from using their free will to do bad things? And no one had an answer for that question.
I put it like this. He cannot be all good, all powerful, and all knowing. He has to be minus one of those three things. He cannot be all three. It's impossible.
Yeah. Because the world doesn't make sense if he's all three of those things. Yeah. And still working the way it is.
He can be up to two of them. Pick two.
But yeah, it started with questions like that. And then as I got older and I got into like my teen years and everything, especially when we started to talk about like sex and sexuality and gender and all this other stuff. And I was having like I was having like a sexuality crisis and a gender crisis, although I wouldn't recognize the gender crisis for years. And I mean, when I came out to my parents, I had a whole contingency plan in place. I had like talked to my friends and asked them, which of you can I come stay with if my parents kick me out of the house? Because I thought that like that was the worst thing that could possibly happen to me, was being kicked out of my Christian parents' house.
Which I know your parents, they'd never do that.
No, they wouldn't have, but it was very irrational and very like
rooted in reality.
And rooted in reality. But yeah, when we started talking about sex and sexuality, and there was this it wasn't just like it wasn't the whole queer thing. It was also like nobody wanted to answer my questions about sex and what sex was and how sex worked and whether or not it was a thing that felt nice. And that has caused me many problems. And I had to go find information from wherever I could.
Well, and it caused us some problems.
Yes, that's what I was implying.
Right.
That's what I was implying. So it's definitely something where over the years, as I've come to understand just how many problems it gave me and how few problems it solved for me, I was just kind of like, hello, Bubby. I was not like that, but I was just kind of like, I think I need to find something else. So I've never like rejected the idea that there's a creator deity, and I've never rejected the idea that there are people who have walked the earth that have been blessed by that higher power. And quite frankly, as I've said before, and I will say forever, I never had a problem with Jesus. Me and Jesus were chill the whole time. It was me and God that had the problem. Me and Jesus, we're cool. And I know that's weird because there's the whole like, it's 3 in 1. It's like God, Father, it's like Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but I don't care, whatever. Me and Jesus were cool. So yeah, like I just, this went on for longer than I thought it would. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Why don't you just start your own stream though? Because you have a lot to say.
There's not enough people who want to hear what I have to say.
Come on, who wants to hear what Katie has to say? You're all still here.
I just got pulled into this and talked for too long.
But I still have 33 people here.
Hi, 33 people. It's nice to see all of you.
Yeah. If you started a stream, you'd be amazing. I'm just saying.
Your confidence in me is biased, but I appreciate you.
You don't have to. I'm just saying if you wanted to.
I know. Anyway, that's my. Anyway, that was my take. Yeah. I'll let you guys get back to.
All right.
What you're doing, my knees. Yeah. Yep. Love you.
Love you too. All right. That was Katie.
Can we have Chipotle for dinner tonight? Because we've got gift cards.
Yeah, because I had McDonald's. I need something at least a little healthier.
Okay. We'll do that later then.
Hello, Veronica. Welcome in. I'm definitely not a person. I'm an alien. Well, that's fair. All right. That was a nice little segue. Oh yeah, I'll let Lady Nova. Sorry, Lady Nova. I meant I'll let Katie know that you said that. Katie, if you enjoy talking, I would watch. Yeah.
Of children's pastors.
Let's get back to
said
this guy.
the same. Let's pause.
So what he's going over right now, in case we forgot, and Dubsy, feel free to leave as much of that in as you want. It was a good rant. But what we're going over right now is he basically said 36% of preteens answered that the only way to get to heaven is through Jesus Christ. Now, my problem with that is there's many religions out there, okay? And so if the only way to get to heaven, this eternal paradise, is through Jesus Christ, well, boy, didn't you luck out, my friend, right? You were born very lucky. Unlike those Muslims over there, they're going to be cast into hellfire. That's my main problem with it.
Here for just a hot moment. Jesus Christ is the only way to experience eternal salvation based on confessing your sins and relying only upon his forgiveness of your sins. It's somewhat of an interesting wording. I still believe that most average Christians in an average...
I'm sorry, he does not deserve to have eyes like this. And I'll move my thing so you guys can see him better. He doesn't deserve it, man. I'm sorry, like... They're very good eyes. I like his eyes a lot.
Average church or average children under a Christian household would answer yes to this question. I find it pretty wild that 36% of preteens answered in the affirmative only, and then 34% of parents, and then 54% of children's pastors. So you have to account for some theological...
The eyes don't save him. I'm not saying the eyes save him. I'm saying that I like the way his eyes look. Subjectively. I like the eyes. They're good eyes. I'm a sucker for a man with good eyes.
Still, the way they worded it is...
Gives me serial killer vibes.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Relying upon his forgiveness of your sins, based in confessing your sins, and that Jesus Christ is the only way to experience salvation. What my thoughts are on this is that actually this is probably a slow trickle result of progressive Christianity, because progressive Christianity is very closely tied to Christian universalism. And universalism teaches that Jesus Christ is not the only way. He's not the only way. He's a way.
Okay, who cares?
He's one of the ways. And what's happening in culture is we're pushing on one end of things, non-religious people, and now bleeding into religious people, this idea of progressive Christianity, where you basically take away all of the essential tenets of Christianity, and you just keep some of the fun stuff that you like. You just keep that stuff. And then on the other hand, we have Christian universalism, which says that there are many ways to salvation. There are many ways to God.
I don't think you should be confessing your sins to anyone else other than Jesus himself, if that's what you believe in. Yeah, it's like if God can hear me just fine, then why am I bothering with a priest? You know, why am I bothering with a pastor? What are you talking about? If God can hear me and God can speak to me and through me, I have no need for you guys.
God. There are many ways to understand these things. And so my opinion is that this is a reflection of the merging of those two things culturally.
Yeah, the eyes are the best part of the whole thing going on. All the rest of it is slimy. It's sad.
Otherwise, I don't know.
Like I said, it's a waste.
The
waste.
pastors is a wild statistic.
Wasted genetics.
It's a wild statistic. It's pretty crazy. 25% of preteens agreed that the Bible is the true word of God that should be a guide to knowing right from wrong and living a good life. 25% of preteens. Significantly higher shares of...
The Bible is the true word of God that should be a guide to knowing right from wrong and living a good life. I mean, must we pull up quotes? You know, here, let's just do a couple for fun. We already know this, but let's just do it for fun. Bible, bad quotes. Evil Bible quote of the day. evilbible.com. Perfect. I have collected almost 300 Bible... Oh, sorry, I thought that was the quote. Murder in the Bible. The act of murder is rampant, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Capital punishment crimes. Dubsy, throw on some stock religious music that won't get me in trouble. Anyone arrogant enough to reject the verdict of the judge or of the priest who represents the Lord your God must be put to death. Such evil must be purged from Israel. Deuteronomy 17:12 NLT. Kill witches. You should not let a sorceress live. Exodus 22:17 NAB. Kill homosexuals in a video game because you can't actually do that. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them shall be put to death for their abominable deed. They have forfeited their lives. Leviticus 12:13 NAB. Now, I have heard that this actually is an embellished line. You're not, it's actually supposed to be like a kid. You're not supposed to sleep with kids. Interesting that they would have changed that, though. Let's move on to another one. How about slavery? We won't even touch on rape in the Bible. Although that's probably a good one, too. The following passage shows that slaves are clearly property to be bought and sold like livestock. Start the music up. However, you may purchase male or female slaves from among the foreigners who live among you. You may also purchase the children of such resident foreigners, including those who have been born in your land. You may treat them as your property, passing them on to your children as a permanent inheritance. You may treat your slaves like this, but the people of Israel, your relatives, must never be treated this way. Leviticus 25:44 through 46 NLT. Like, it's just blatant. It's just blatant. Like, this is the Bible. This is your holy book, man. Kind of sucks. How do you know that's not a quote? What do you mean? Oh, like from up here? I don't know. Yeah, what a sussy book. If you're a pedo, that's okay, but if you're gay, then you're going way too far. Yeah. No, that's literally what some of them believe. Like, it's insane.
Parents at 44%. That's good. At least that's basically double. And children's pastors at 62%. Who is employing these children's pastors?
What is this effect?
Who is hiring these guys?
That was a terrible effect. Well, you just threw that on last second. Oh, we need some effects. Yeah, throw it on.
Nice. That is insane.
My editors are way better, right, Dubsy?
The pastors expressed...
Dubsy, put a cool effect here. Dubsy will love working on that. Dubsy loves editing.
Agreement with
the heavier I tell Dubsy to edit, the more Dubsy likes me. Dubsy, I need you to mask my entire body, and I need you to put it in a field of flowers. And then I need you to put a cutout of Donald Trump frolicking through the flowers toward me. And then I need you to put an AI-generated voice clip of Donald Trump saying, "I love you, Alleganto. Come to me, Alleganto. I love you. I love you. You're very special. You're very special, Alleganto. Come here." And then put my cutout frolicking back, and then we both hug. And that's my task to you, Dubsy. Good luck.
Statement stressing the value of the Bible. Less than half of preteens, 21%, parents, 28%, and children's pastors, 36%, believe that, quote, there are absolute truths, things that are right and things that are wrong, that do not depend on feelings, preferences, or circumstances. Those truths are unchanging and knowable. This is a terrifying.
I'll shit myself if Dubsy actually does that.
Terrifying statistic. Hey, do you mind doing some of the YouTube stuff real quick? My channel gets bogged heavily, so if you could hit the thumbs up button, comment below, maybe put a farm animal down there, that'd be awesome. Subscribe if you haven't. It would help a lot. I'd appreciate it. Let's get back to it. Less than half of preteens believe that there are absolute truths. Less than half of preteens believe that things are right and things are wrong, that do not depend on your feelings, your preferences, or circumstances. And then 28% of parents and then children's pastors are still at 36%. That's less than.
As far as absolute truths go, I do think that morality is subjective to a certain extent, but I do think that certain things should be taken as truth by society. I did say this during my last debate. Like, I don't know about, like, absolute truths of the universe or anything like that. Like, that seems very esoteric to me. What I do care about is that we follow protocol that makes people's lives better. Okay? When you're talking about these ideas, you need to communicate clearly and effectively. What do you mean by the absolute good? What do you mean by these things? You know, like, oh, you believe in like the infinite good? Okay, what does that actually mean? You know, what do we do with this information? You know, this is what I'm interested in. They always gesture at these grandiose moral words, this word salad, and it doesn't mean anything.
Half. That's insane.
That's a pretty good moral truth, Murasaki.
And if you try to say this is anything other than what is happening in culture, then you are also insane. with love and respect. You're insane. That's absolutely culture. Dependent on feelings, preferences, and circumstances is the majority from these people. 36, 28, and 21 are all far less than 50%.
Who cares?
Alarmingly less.
What's the consequence of this?
These people believe that there are not so much absolute truths, that most things do depend on.
More than likely, most of the people were just like, what the fuck are you talking about absolute truths? You know? Like, that's probably what most of the answers were.
Things like feelings, preferences, and circumstances. That's alarming. That is why we have no idea what words mean anymore. Nobody knows if they're a boy or a girl anymore.
Let's go. We got it.
Christianity is now progressive and universal, where Jesus Christ is not the only way.
Dubsy, put a Blair
There's
horn.
a lot of different ways. You know, Muslims,
or an air
like,
horn, whatever it's called.
they'll still be saved. You know, and nothing against Muslims, just first one that comes to my head. Any religious
I'm torturing Dubsy today.
Christians believe a specific thing. If you ask a Muslim, hey, will Christians go to heaven? Hey, will Jews go to heaven? Hey, will atheists go to heaven? A Muslim will tell you, hell
You're good,
no.
Murasaki. It's okay.
No. Because our religion says no.
Then fuck your religion. I hate it. Why? What do you think you're doing? Making a case? The only case you're making is that nobody should be a part of your religion. No. If you don't think that Muslims and atheists go to heaven, then fuck you. Shove it up your ass. What, I'm not good enough for your God? Okay, tell your God to suck the shit out of my asshole. You know, like, I have no use for him. He's never done anything for me. What has he done for me? Go on. I'd love to hear it. You know, and they'll say things like, oh, well, you wouldn't exist without him. Okay, I didn't ask to exist, man. I didn't ask to, and neither did you, for the matter. Okay? None of us did. So let's say that's correct, that he did bring us into existence. Okay? He's a deadbeat, absent father in that case. That makes it worse, not better. I'm just saying. Fuck your God.
And that's one thing I actually respect about
not good enough for his
some
heaven.
other religions.
I'll chill with Satan.
Not
then.
pointing just to
Hail
Islam,
Satan.
but to other religions. Because they're holding fast in their faith. Christians are not. Christians are absolutely losing their minds. While
no reason to be a Christian.
Small percentages of preteens, 27%, and parents, 33%, agreed that the main reason to live
is kids, hail Satan.
To know, love, and serve God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. A majority of children's pastors, 56%, just barely the majority, identified knowing...
I'm morally superior to everyone else because I read a book that told me how to be a good person. No, you read a book that thinks it told you how to be a good person. You think that it was telling you how to be a good person. What it was actually telling you is that slavery is good and that rape is okay. You know, those are the things that are actually in the Bible.
Loving and serving God as
Ignore
the
the part
purpose of
about
life.
Jesus and
this is
all lovingness.
Wild. I want to know who these pastors
These effects are just not
Who
good.
is hiring them? What are the denominations of the churches, and what are the specific churches? Because this is why, man, I tell you guys, like, go to church if you find a local church that you really believe in, you really agree with, and they're doing the right thing. Otherwise, avoid church like the plague.
Really?
Because it is no longer church.
Damn, he's telling people to just not go to church anymore. Holy shit, man. I thought you were like a pastor or some shit. I thought you were trying to spread the good word. I guess not. Damn.
It is no longer ecclesia. It is a bastardization of what the church was intended to be. If those are your leaders, if your leaders are barely above 50% believing just normal tenets of Christianity, avoid it like the plague. Only 17% of preteens define...
You know what I care about my church doing? Helping the poor. You know, going to soup kitchens. My church did that. Okay, it wasn't the best church, but it did that. You know, it was a little bit of a richy liberal church, but they did do some outreach, and I like that. I like it when churches do that. I don't like churches as an institution. I don't like them as a tax. I don't like that they don't have to pay taxes. Okay, I don't like that stuff, but as long as they have tax-exempt status, I'd rather them be doing good things rather than bad. You know? As long as they're doing good things, it's fine. Why does this boomer have a tattoo on his head? I don't know. Like, he probably thinks he's being cool with the kids or something. Or maybe he actually does, like, he just wanted a tattoo on his head. I really don't know. None of it, like, the tattoos really clash with the pastor look. You know what I mean? Like, it really clashes. Maybe modern day pastors are, like, going more for this look, but especially this one up here, I feel like that shouldn't be there.
Quote, real success in life.
No shade. I mean, it looks fine.
Obeying God. Jesus.
It just doesn't fit
along
with
with
the
19% of
Also, I should point out here, Bible tattoo. What does the Bible say about tattoos? Fine. Allow ads. Fuck it. Fine. In the Old Testament, Leviticus 19:28, you shall not make any cuts on your body for the dead or tattoo yourselves. I am the Lord. It's quite the punctuation there. What's going on with that, man? Looking like you're, not following your holy book. If I had to guess, he's also wearing 2 different threads.
Parents and 42% of children's ministers. Hey, who are these people?
What are these effects, man?
This is wild. Additional findings about the views and spiritual lives of preteens included in the report state that 26% of children between the ages of 8 and 12, quote, consistently consult the Bible when trying to determine right from wrong, end quote. And that 21% of preteens surveyed, quote, believe turning to the Bible is the best way to distinguish right from wrong. So far less than half. Not even a freaking quarter. Not even a quarter.
But what's the actual outcome
in other
of
cases,
this?
The views of preteens closely mirrored those of adults. For example, 36% of preteens and 35% of adults believe that, quote, the means to eternal salvation is by confessing their sins and asking Jesus Christ to save them from the consequences of their sin, end quote. So 36% of preteens and 35% of adults on that one.
Okay. I'm fine with having the stipulation that in order to get to the eternal good place, all you have to do is confess to your sins and like actually repent and make amends. I'm fine with that. That's good. That's awesome. That is, Jesus was pro-reform. Jesus was pro-reform. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that part. What I'm not fine with is like, that's the only way to do it. And if you refuse to do it, then like you go to hell for the rest of all eternity. I don't believe in eternal punishment. In as far as there is an eternity, if that happens to exist and my consciousness goes, runs past its due date, I guess, I don't believe that, and if there is an eternal hell, if we live in like the dark universe where our God just hates us in our guts and he has a select few, well, then I'm fucked anyway. Nobody told me that. Nobody gave me an instruction manual. So whatever way you cut it, I'm fucked. So why should I give a shit? I'll enjoy the life I have right before my eternal suffering and damnation. Okay? I'm not abiding by your disgusting God's rules. If he's a dictator, then so be it. And hopefully, it's just fade to black and that's it. Like, I personally, okay, just real quick, I don't want to get into too big of a spiel, but I do believe that there is some kind of collective consciousness. You know what I mean? Like consciousness on a subatomic level almost. Because in my mind, it makes a lot more sense that humanity and animals and such came from conscious matter than it does to think that we came from unconscious matter somehow. And from that sprung a well of consciousness. I just don't buy that. Then again, you have unliving things coming from living things, but that's why I think that at some level, everything kind of has a living consciousness, like that element, that spiritual element exists somewhere in the fabric of the universe. Omni lines, Omni Mark, Omni Tuna, Omni Money. What are all these things? I don't know what you're saying. That's just my personal belief. I have no way to prove it, and you shouldn't believe it. I'm just saying that's my gut feeling. Here's an honest question. Should this guy have become a youth pastor in jail? I'm picking up vibes. Could this guy have become a youth pastor in jail? I mean, I guess. I don't see, it would be kind of hard. Because you're in jail. But I guess you could try. Anyway.
The research attributed to the lack of a biblical worldview among preteens is to the fact that adults shaping the opinions of children also fail to embrace the biblical view. Duh.
As a non-believer, I struggle with the concepts of soul and consciousness. You don't have to struggle with it if you don't want to. It's just one of those things that we just don't know, and we probably never will. Whatever lies beyond life is just something that we have to experience for ourselves. And that's fine.
Duh,
it comes for us all.
Of course. It measured the frequency of a biblical worldview among children between the ages of 8 and 12 at 2%.
That's
Let's
funny.
read that bad boy again. It measured the frequency of a biblical worldview
Christoids,
among children,
dude. These fucking
between the ages of 8
Christoids.
and 12 at 2%. Among children's
Or is Christoids better? I think Christoids is pretty funny.
Pastors, that figure rises to 12%.
Christoids taking an L yet again.
Who is ordaining these people? I was cynical about the church before. The more I read things like this,
I want to ask this guy. I want to ask this guy why he thinks it's okay that he has tattoos. Like, seriously, why does he think that's okay? It don't make any sense.
Becomes available to me that people send me or that I stumble across.
Repent for your tattoos.
The more I'm just like, oh,
go get them lasered off.
We have to get people away from churches. They're becoming detrimental.
How? What are they actually doing?
They're becoming detrimental.
But what is the Jeezoids? Nice. What is the actual consequence of this, though? Like, what's the tangible effect that we are feeling as a result of young people leaving Christ? You know, what is it? I haven't felt it. I would love to know.
To people's faith. Reacting to the findings of the research, Arizona Christian University Cultural Research Center Director George Barna said that, quote, the worldview development of children is the existential challenge.
The ultimate minority has shown up in YouTube chat. I am not white, nor am I straight or cis. I am your worst nightmare. I'm the Christian's worst nightmare. Granny from Narnia has arrived. That's funny.
Challenge facing the American church today. I agree. According to, but it's not just that. There's a lot of nuance to that. According to Barna, because of the strong correlation between biblical worldview and genuine Christian discipleship, we are on the precipice of Christian invisibility in this nation unless we get serious about this crisis and invest heavily in fixing what is broken.
What's broken?
I love that. I could not agree with that more. The Cultural Research Center.
This is so, like, vague. This entire time, this whole thing has been vague. I'm so tired of people vague posting. Just say what you mean. Just say it. Stop saying things like the ultimate truth of the universe or the ultimate good or the infinite good or God said, like, what? Just say what you mean. What's the consequence here? There's no consequence. You're just waffling. Blood's waffling. Stop waffling.
Or defines a biblical worldview as, quote, a means of experiencing, interpreting, and responding to reality in light of biblical perspectives, end quote. It measures biblical worldview based on responses to questions examining.
He does kind of look like John Seed from Far Cry 5.
The Bible, truth and morals, faith practices, family and the value of life, God, creation and history, and human character and nature, lifestyle behavior and relationships, purposes and calling, as well as sin, salvation, and God.
Maybe I can get this guy on. What do you guys think?
Quote, if you follow the data, you learn that we have had a decreasing percentage of Americans embracing a biblical worldview since we started tracking this in the early 1990s. We have endured more than 30.
I did already comment butts. I snuck that in earlier. I kind of want to see if anybody's liked it. 11's here. We'll just go sort by newest. Oh no, he replied! No! No, I've been seen! No! I've been seen! Oh shit! What did he say? Cheeks? He said cheeks? We're bonding! Let's go, baby! Wait! Wait. Here. I'm actually live right now. Would you like... Let's ask him if he wants to come on now. To come on the show sometime. We can even do it now if you have time. Here, let's explain a little about what I do. I'm a progressive live streamer, and I'm covering your video for content. Here, let's put this first. This is nuts. What a twist. What a twist! This is why you never miss a stream, guys. It's a momentous occasion. I thought he wanted a farm animal emoji. Gunter, do you take these odds? What is it? If I'm right, wait. He's too covered in ink to be a trad Christian. Oh, you think he's a reformed neo-Nazi? I don't know. I don't really care that much. Anyway, let's see. Okay, we'll finish the video and then we'll check back.
30 years.
Maybe we'll see him in chat. Here, wait, what's his name?
With a very limited response by the church.
Tattooed Theist.
Quote, Barna added.
Keep on the lookout for Tattooed Theist in YouTube chat.
Quote, the incidence of biblical worldview among adults has dropped down to just 4%. And among parents of young children, it's just 2%. That number just destroys my insides.
Why though?
You cannot get much lower.
Why are you worried about it?
You literally can't, because numbers don't work that way in statistics with people.
Barna
elaborated on the importance of focusing on worldview development at an early age.
Oh, gotcha.
Quote, children are intellectual and spiritual sponges in their preteen years. They are desperately trying
If
to...
I'm right, you owe chat 1 free sub, but if I'm wrong, I'll donate a $5. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. I will give 1 free random sub if you're correct.
Make sense of the world, their identity, their purpose, and how to live a meaningful and satisfying life. End quote. Quote, parents in particular have a duty to focus on and invest in the development of their children's worldview, which is simply their decision-making filter for life. If parents do not fill that vacuum, other sources such as the media, the schools, and even the child's peers will influence that worldview construction.
Oh, that's just cult shit. No, they all should be influencing your child. Your parents are not the only, should not be the only influence in your life. The child's peers? You don't want the child's peers influencing the child? Why? Are you a freak? That's disgusting. Kids gotta have friends.
End quote. He warned, quote, the child's worldview will inevitably develop. The critical questions are who will shape it and what 4 worldviews will be most forcefully and consistently proposed. I am just absolutely blown away, because this is an insane thing to actually try to grasp and understand.
Do you even want?
But this is why I talk to a lot of you guys like privately on Instagram and Discord and whatever. And being a parent and calling yourself a Christian.
Okay, he's not too big, so like talking to people privately is whatever. But like with what he's saying, that still scares me. And hopefully he's not talking to kids. Jesus.
That is easy. Being a good one, being a steward is a very, very different thing. And I was talking to somebody in particular, and you probably know who you are if you're watching this. We went in depth about like how we both raise our kids. And she raises her kid a very specific way. She's very much in her child's ear. She's very much like, hey, look at all these things that we don't agree with. This is why we don't agree with them. This is why they're harmful.
Indoctrination.
This is what you're probably going to.
You are grooming that child, not you. Whoever that is grooming that child. 1000%.
Be told all along the way. And I need you to be aware that this is the truth about it. This is the truth about it. That is a lie, and this is the truth about it. And I am diligent with my kid about these things. I walk a very fine line because on one hand, I don't want to totally indoctrinate my child.
Not totally, just like slightly. Just a little bit as a treat.
Because that word has a yucky feel to it.
We don't use that word.
What was just said there. Your children will be indoctrinated no matter what you do. They will. They'll either be indoctrinated
by your definition. Yes, they should be. They should get influence outside of you, especially you.
Social media.
You're terrible.
By schools, by peers, or by other adults. No matter what, though, your child is going to be fed information. They're going to be developed into believing different worldviews, different ideologies, different concepts, and different parts of culture. That needs to...
Yeah, I should mention real quick, this was a recommendation from Atheist Mando in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much. If you would like to recommend a video, you can put it in the Discord. The link is in every single YouTube video below in the description. You can find it there. And then you can post videos for me to react to, just like this one. It helps with the content grind. So please, get your butts in there. Give me some content. We're running dry. The reserves are running dry. Get your butts over there.
Come from
Join Gunter Court today.
If you are a strong Christian, and even if you're not, You need to get yourself there like as soon as
Why?
possible. If you're a parent,
what is my
you should have already
what is
had
my
that
motivation?
sorted out, in my opinion, you should have already had that.
You've given me no motivation this entire time. All you've said is like, look at these numbers. Oh, look at these kids don't want Christianity anymore. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, look at how bad this all is. These numbers are bad. The line must go up more. Oh, like it's all vague. I've learned nothing from this except you're not happy with line not going up.
That sorted out before having kids. But if you have kids, you need to get into high gear. You need to be someone they can emulate. You need to be talking to them about prayer, talking to them about theology, talking to them about the Bible in ways that they can understand, in ways that are fun for them, in ways that they can grasp and keep their attention on it, be attentive for. But you need to be on that. You can't.
Here's the problem. They assume. So the reason that they're so bad at rhetoric is because they just assume that they're correct and that anybody that doesn't think that they're correct is not worth talking to anyway. So like what ends up happening is they come out with these lines like, look at all these people who don't believe in God. Oh my God, look at all these people who don't believe in Jesus Christ anymore. All these people who don't want to repent for their sins anymore. Isn't this terrible? Isn't this bad? Isn't this bad? Isn't this bad? Isn't this bad? And it's like they take it for granted that that's bad, when I have no reason to believe that it is. You've given me no reason to think that this is bad. You just think that it's bad because you think that now those kids will go to hell or something. But you've given me no reason to think that hell even exists, or that heaven exists, or that God exists, or that I should even care what God has to say if he does exist. The only reason I have to care is because God's a dick who will send me to hell for all eternity if I don't obey him. I don't obey God, all right? I am my own fucking God. Do you understand? Me and my chat. Those are my gods. And I only usually obey one of them.
Just put an iPad in front of your kids. You're a terrible parent if that's all you do. You're god awful. You need to talk to your kids. Be involved with your kids.
You should.
This is hard proof of that.
But nothing of what you've said so far is proof of that. Like, all that's proof of is the zeitgeist shifting away from Christianity, and you're just upsetty spaghetti about it. Why are you so upset? You should be secure in your religion. Just be secure in your religion. Why do you feel the need to evangelize and convert everybody else? What's the point? Just be secure that you're going to heaven, buddy. Pat, good job. You did it. You're going to heaven. Good job. Leave the rest of us alone. We're trying to live our lives. We're trying to live in reality.
We need so much more revival among Christian parents to raise their children.
Why though?
To really grasp what they believe. Not you believe it because it's true. Like, no, because they're going to be told all sorts of stuff from the world, and they're going to be explained to them. They'll get details from them.
I've heard
and if
that
all
one
you
too,
do
Granny.
is just drop facts and say, well, that's just the truth, then they're going to hear things from other people and all these explanations.
Wait, but that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just saying, well, no, you have to repent, you see, because God said so. You must repent because God said so, because that's the thing that you have to do. Why? Because you'll go to hell if you don't. But why? But that doesn't say why. If I say, hey, don't say the word spoingloing. You understand? Don't say the word spoingloing. It's a bad word. So if you say spoingloing, I'm gonna punish you. And then the kid goes, well, Daddy, what does spoingloing mean? And then I slap them. And they start crying, and I go, what did I just say? Don't say spoingloing. Don't say spoingloing. How dare you say spoingloing in my household? I told you not to say that. And then the kid goes, I didn't know what the word spoingloing meant. If I just maybe knew what it... No, I think not. You do not say that in my house. And it's like I've given you no reason to not say the word spoingloing. Like, it could mean something terrible, but you don't know that. I haven't explained that. So now you just have this nugget in your head, this useless fucking knowledge that you cannot say the word spoingloing, and if you say it, then bad things will happen. And that's how the entire Christian cult works. All right? Seriously, that's how it works. They just tell you not to do things, and if you do them, bad things will happen. My dad just became super evangelical, and he's gone completely fucking crazy. He said he forgave the guy who raped me when I was a kid because only God can judge. I am very sorry to hear that, peepee girl. Man, I don't even know what to say about that. Your dad's gone, dude. Like, my dad's conservative, but he ain't that bad, so I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. That's awful. You know, but that's what this shit does to them, you know? So thank you for your contribution, PB Girl. I appreciate it.
For why the other is true,
to the
and they are going to not believe you, and they will stray. That's the world we live in. That's
Stop
the
saying
culture we live
spoingling.
in. That's what's going to happen. Have in-depth conversations with your kids. Really teach them what you believe and what we
like you have not
believe.
done here.
That's terrifying. This
Why?
is a terrifying, terrifying article. I love you guys. Have a great day.
All I've learned, like, man yells at cloud. Man yells at cloud. You know, that's it. Here, let's see if he's replied. Yo! Nope, no reply yet. God damn it. By the way, don't go and harass this guy, please. I know that I'm commenting and stuff, but, you know, we're approximately the same size, so there is a risk of that. Obviously, it goes without saying, don't go harassing him, etc., okay? Please don't. But anyway, maybe I'll get him on. Who's to say? Maybe I'll do it in the next 10 seconds. Who's to say? What I do know is that I have to go to the bathroom. So I'll go ahead and end this by saying that we've accomplished nothing here. And he just, all I've seen is that he seems scared about something. Apparently, like kids not knowing God well enough, or like not confessing their sins enough, or I don't know. Like he's given no actual consequences to the things that he's afraid of. So this is just a bunch of blood waffling over nothing. Typical Christian cult shit. You know how it goes. And man, if you're watching this, I'm sorry to do it. I'm sorry I had to do it to you, man, but it's a sucky video and I don't know why it exists. So anyway, Dubsy, cut it here. I'm going to the bathroom. Let me turn on some music. And I will be right back. Okay. I do have time for one more segment. I just realized I do have to end a little bit early today because I forgot to go to Dick's and pick up some boxing gloves. And I also forgot to sign up for the classes tonight, so I have to actually see if I can even do that still. Actually, let me do that now. Give me 1 second. Let me check and make sure I don't have to sign up, because otherwise I'll just keep streaming. By the way, real quick, since Hot Take Andy's in the chat, I do need you to know that there is a form. This is for any tier 3 or tier 4 subs. There is a form now that you can fill out if you want vinyl stickers and green screen requests. You can find the Google Sheets form, or sorry, it's the Google Docs form or whatever it's called, on Discord. You can find it in the Gunter Guild channel. It's only available for members. You can find it there. You can also find it on my Patreon in the description. So definitely fill out the form if you want your stickers and if you want your green screen requests. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like I have to call them, so we'll just do stream as planned. I'll end a little bit early so that I can go get my boxing gloves and then call them. So let's do one more React segment and then we'll be good. I know, you guys would love me to keep streaming, but I do have to actually do some exercise at some point, and I keep holding it off, so... We'll make it a long one. Longer. Like what we just did, kind of. Oh yeah, we still got to do this Channel 4 documentary thing.
I was only 5'8".
This is perfect. We do got to get started right away, though. Just do what the quartering does when he's alone in his basement. That's disgusting. Did you get boxing gloves for Boxing Day? No, I need them for boxing classes. I'm going tonight, if all goes as planned. That's why I'm streaming so early, because this is going to be my new schedule if I'm doing boxing. You're now boxing your Christmas decorations? That's what I meant. PB Girl, it can be more nuanced than your dad just being a bad person, but it doesn't matter. The outcome's the same, and you don't have to deal with that if you don't want to. If you would like to try to change him, still you can, but that's completely between you and him. And you don't have to. The consequence is what I care about, and the consequence is bad. All right, let's start the next segment. I actually need more moderators for YouTube chat. Is NB still here? I see them a lot. We'll take care of it later. I put out a casting call. So Channel 4 documentaries. Now, I don't watch a lot of their content, but I've heard that they usually put out pretty good based documentaries, but that this one's not as based. And this one is called I'm Not a Woman, But I'll Take the Benefits. Transmaxxer Life Uncovered, Channel 4 documentaries. It's got a lot of dislikes as compared to likes Still more likes, but it's definitely dicey. Somebody put this in my Discord, which you can join if you click the link in the description below, and you can suggest videos as well in the content suggestions channel. And that's where this is coming from. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this. I don't know what's going on with it at all. The new one, oh, I guess it is new. It's brand new from 1 day ago. So this is called "I'm Not a Woman, But I'll Take the Benefits." Transmaxxer Life Uncovered by Channel 4 Documentaries. Let's take a look.
I was only 5'8" and had a 2.7-inch erect penis. So what do you think?
We're off to a great start. Jesus.
Of changing your sex because you have a 2.7-inch erect penis?
Transmaxxing is a transition for personal gain.
I don't want to spend 70 hours a week working.
Get a personal trainer and become a true man. Well, I don't want to do all those things.
Okay. This documentary could not have come out at a worse time for trans people. I'm just saying. Like, the number of transmaxxers that actually exist and legitimately are only doing the trans thing for clout is astronomically small. Because in reality, what you're doing is you're selling your fucking identity and your rights away. For what? For clout? Like, what do they actually gain? You know what? I'll give it a chance. Let's see what they actually gain from this.
It's a cold and calculated decision.
Plus, you don't have to worry about, like, birth control or anything.
You've never wore a dress?
No.
And does your boyfriend know about the transmaxxing?
This removes testosterone.
You should potentially change your sex just to get cheaper car insurance.
Channel 4 emailed me, but I've ignored them. Really? Interesting.
In this episode of Life Uncovered, I'm entering the controversial world of transmaxxing.
Oh boy.
What is transmaxxing? Well, according to the Transmaxxing Manifesto, it's when a man transitions to become a woman, not because they identify as a woman, but because they think life as a woman is just better, and they want all the apparent benefits of being a woman and operating in female spaces.
I would love to see multiple orgasms from penile stimulation, full body orgasms. You will feel emotions stronger and be happier on estrogen. Your breasts will become sensitive, being able to attract cis lesbians.
The Transmaxxer Manifesto walks men through all the positives of female
Stop and reverse
life,
hair loss,
such as
cheaper car insurance. That one's true.
Cheaper car insurance. I'm on my way
but
to...
like, cheaper car insurance is not worth uprooting your entire identity. And if it is to you, first of all, whatever, go off, queen. Like, okay, yeah, I transitioned so that I can get cheaper car insurance. Congratulations, you were probably already trans. Like, come on. That's such a weak excuse.
To spend a few days with Sammy, who started their transmaxxing journey.
No, bro, I swear, bro. This is exactly like those guys who join ballet because they think that, like, they'll be surrounded by women. You know what I mean? And then they get there and, like, 50 other guys did the same thing, and so they just quit. Or they quit because guess what? It turns out ballet fucking sucks, all right? Like, I don't think it's that bad, but if you're a guy and you're going to ballet with the express purpose of meeting girls there, you're going to have a terrible time and you're going to quit. And that's exactly what's going to happen to anybody who tries this.
A little over a year ago.
Unless you straight up just don't care about your identity.
The idea is that Sammy didn't have much luck in relationships.
It feels to me like they're just trans people who don't want to admit to themselves they're trans and this isn't out. That's possible. It's certainly possible.
As a man, the kind of transmaxxing ideology has told them that if they transition to a woman...
Why are they downvoting this? Let's take a look at real quick at some of the comments. Life as a woman might be a bit better sometimes. Life as a man might be a bit better in other ways, but life as a trans person is almost never going to be an advantage. That's true. I was worried that it peaked early with the picture of him failing to hold a fish, but it was beaten by the voice being the same. What? If he got his period, he would immediately change his mind. Okay, but that's kind of a turfy thing to say. This has as much journalistic integrity as the Mitchell and Webb sketch, The Boy with an Arse for a Face. Okay. It seems like people are on our sides with this, on our side.
They'll have a lot more success. So Sammy is kind of very
Well, I don't even know what our side is, frankly. I'm just going off of what chat's saying and what people have told me about this.
Into that transition and has agreed to talk to me about it. It is undeniably a controversial topic, potentially the most controversial one.
Controversy.
Of this series.
I just released a video about that today. Holy shit.
I'm Ben.
to meet you.
Not gonna lie, Drip's on point. Drip is phenomenal.
Really nice to meet you. Should we go for a little stroll? I like this place, got a nice little spot. A tiny fridge.
Yeah, I got all the essentials.
Can I see what's in the fridge?
Probably fuck all, but...
Let's see, moment of truth.
I've got some cakes in there.
You're a big fan of AA batteries.
Okay. Yeah, you need a lot, because I, game quite a bit.
Can you...
There's literally nothing weird about that. It's just their AA batteries.
You pull out the pre-transition clothes just so I can have a look.
Sure.
This is old Sammy. Flannel shirt.
Yeah, pretty basic, not too flashy. This is me when I was 20. Hair is starting to recede a little.
Drip game has improved phenomenally. Phenomenally.
A little bit. Not a great time in my life. I wouldn't look at that and think, yeah, that is a masculine dude. When I saw this...
Okay, this person is just trans. They're just trans. Right?
Picture is like, yeah, I need to do something about my appearance.
As a woman,
what did you think a man was at this point?
Dominant, successful, outgoing, confident, strong, resilient.
How did you think you sat in relation to that?
I was a far cry from that. I would take a lot of work.
Yeah, you're trans.
Even get...
Which, by the way, let's say that you're not trans. Let's say that you still identify as a man. Okay. And? You went on estrogen. Your drip game has improved immensely. Your makeup game's on point. Okay. Be a man. Be the best man you can possibly be. Go forth. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, they act like they're gaming the system here, and it straight up just does not matter if you're trans or not. Okay? It doesn't matter. We didn't get the call out in time, so a few trans people were likely caught out in this smear piece. Oh, boy.
Close to that.
Well, thank you for letting me know about how the video.
You look like a guy.
I look like a guy, but I don't look like a manly guy.
Would you say that your life was slightly incel-esque?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's just go strictly off of what this person is saying, because I frankly don't trust the reporter.
Yeah, somewhat isolated.
Could you get up the kind of transmaxxing manifesto? The transmaxxing manifesto?
Yeah, I'm sure I can find it.
As far as I'm concerned,
it says there are many potential benefits from transitioning to male to female. The superiority of female aesthetics. Female spaces are cleaner and...
So all she's done, I'm assuming it's she, all she's done is pulled up the transmaxxing sheet. That doesn't mean she actually goes by it or anything like that. So pay close attention.
Generally more pleasant. I mean, that is a controversial one.
I don't think it's controversial to say that female spaces don't have piss all over the floor.
Becoming male to female transsexual is a way better option than being an incel as a male. High quality males will be attracted to you. Being able to extract resources from males.
Yeah, having dinner paid for you or getting drinks.
This fucking thing is straight off of 4chan/LGBT. It's straight off of there. I'm not even on there and I know that.
At a bar.
Has it happened? Yeah, so like people have started buying you dinners and stuff?
Yeah, I've been offered a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
She
this one
was
says
asked to find it. Yeah, good point, Lady Nova. She was asked to pull this up.
You should take every advantage given to you.
You should potentially change your sex just to get cheaper car insurance, or...
I don't think that's a primary reason to transition, but it's definitely a secondary reason.
See? She just said it. Like, okay, you get all these benefits. That's great. That's great. I hope that you guys reap all of the benefits of being a woman. If you're trans male to female, yeah, I hope you reap every single benefit you possibly can. Slay queen. Go get your money. Go get the bag. Because guess what? Every other part of being trans fucking sucks in the United States and abroad, really. So go get your fucking bag. You earned it, queen. You know, like, okay, great. I have no problem with this.
The experience of becoming female. I was only 5'8" and had a 2.7-inch erect penis. Since being on the hormones, I've lost weight, so I'm closer to 5'7" now.
I am trans and I used to be transphobic. We love reform. I used to be conservative and I used to also be transphobic. So go off.
Estrogen for 6 months. So what do you think of changing your sex because you have a 2.7-inch erect penis and you're not that tall?
I think that's pretty reasonable.
So it's better to just disregard the penis altogether.
You're not going to please a woman with a 2.7-inch penis.
Okay, I was literally thinking about doing a segment on this because I watched a Moist Critical segment about jelking, which if you don't know what jelqing is, it's basically just a penile massage that people give themselves because they think that it will increase the length of their penis. And it's very dangerous, and you can actually injure yourself doing it. You basically just apply like a bunch of pressure to the penis, and you just stroke upward, trying to stretch it. That's all it is. And I was going to do a segment on like how people say size isn't everything. Size isn't anything. Size isn't anything. All right? And I'm not just saying that because I have a small dick. I'm saying size does not matter. Please just no, seriously though. Size does not matter at all. Like if you want to be real, have you ever gone to a sex store and looked at the dildos there? You are not beating those dildos. You're not. You're not beating those dildos. I don't care how massive your schlong is. I don't care how low it dangles to the floor, if it wobbles to the floor. It doesn't matter. You're not beating what can be artificially constructed. You're not. So if you got a small dick, that's fine. You can still be a king. All right. You can still make yourself look good, and you can still please a woman or a man if that's your preference, or non-binary or other or whatever. Okay. You can still please people. All right. Strap-ons exist for one thing. Don't be a pussy. Use a strap-on. It's fine. Like I said, you're not going to beat the one to the sex store. It's simply not going to happen. So you can use that, or even better, women prefer it when you use your tongue and fingers. Okay? Those are the real ticket in. Okay? Those are the real key to pleasing your woman is tongue and fingers. You got a handle on those things, you don't give a fuck what your dick size is. Not a single solitary shit. I'm just saying.
One day when I was wanking, I realised I was still hard after coming. Then I came again and again. I came so many times I wasn't horny for 4 days afterwards, at which point I came over 10
Jesus
times.
Christ.
A week after that,
Jesus.
I came 40 plus times in less than an hour. What's that got to do with transitioning to become a woman?
I mean, you know, some people do desire that.
Desire what?
You ever heard of the debunked theory of autogynephilia? Yes, I'm aware of it.
An extreme, intense sexual experience.
All right, so I've just stepped out for a
I'm
second.
not beating your glass still,
I've got to say.
Sorry, I want to hear what she said at the end there.
What?
An extreme, intense sexual experience.
That's fine.
All right, so I've just stepped out for a second.
Listen, if you want to get on estrogen strictly to like improve your orgasms, like if you think that's going to help your orgasms and a doctor has said, yeah, this will help your orgasms, I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be completely trans for that, by the way. You can still be a man who takes estrogen just to increase the pleasure of your orgasms. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still improving the overall quality of your life.
And I've got to say that manifesto is one of the wildest
Also,
things
I don't know to what extent estrogen works like that. I would have to look into that.
I've read
I know it changes
in a
your
long time.
orgasms.
You know,
I
this
don't know
is
how much
a
better it
group
makes
of
them per
people
se.
who identify as male, saying that they are effectively kind of playing the system. You know, they are transitioning because they think life as a woman is easier. They think they're going to get males who they can take the resources from.
But that's not what she was insinuating, though. But that's not what she was insinuating. She literally said you shouldn't do this as the primary reason to transition. These just happen to be benefits that you get. It just so happens that these are the benefits you get from transitioning.
Might be able
I mean,
to
that's
get cheaper
great.
car insurance.
That's fine.
And it just feels like something that is really going to anger
This is so bad faith.
People. Oh, hello. Wowzers.
So this is as masculine as it gets, yeah.
How do you feel in?
I don't know, kind of bland.
See?
Does it feel less comfortable?
She's actually like dysphoric.
I just don't really feel much about it.
Just watching this video. This is on your laptop. Voice feminization?
Yeah, voice training was probably the last thing that I did.
So your voice did used to be different?
Yeah.
This is all in the 4chan shitpost it was based on, but not her words at all. Yeah, exactly. And it seems like she okay, here's what I'm getting from this. Are you ready? I think this is a trans person who spends probably a little bit too much time on /LGBT 4chan, right? Probably. I don't know her life, but that's the way it strikes me. And so she downloaded this list because she thought, this is a good meme. I'm already trans. Might as well reap the benefits, right? And then like this reporter hit her up and said, hey, you know, like we're doing a research documentary on trans people, right? We wanted to know your experience. And then like they ask her a bunch of good faith questions, cut those, and then keep the bad faith ones, and then pretend like, yeah, she just transitioned for the fucking social benefits, for the social goodies, right? Like, that's how this works. How much was she paid for this? How is this not a grift? No, she's like actually... That's literally what they asked in the casting call. Yeah. No, I know how this goes. Because Matt Walsh did exactly the same thing. They're doing what Matt Walsh did. This is journalistic dishonesty.
Like what?
I mean, I'll try, but yeah, so it should sound like this. Just normal, bland.
That's fine.
Yeah, a little bit deeper, I guess. Yeah.
Also, you're not supposed to ask a trans woman to do her dead voice. You're not supposed to do that.
Do your new voice?
It kind of sounds like this.
It's just like, hi, what have your family said about it all?
I don't explicitly present in front of my dad, and then I'm not in contact with my mother.
How much do you think kind of not having a hugely close relationship with your parents played a part in the kind of eventual decision?
Yeah.
No! Oh, God, this is getting so bad, dude. Well, how much do you think, your distance from your parents affected this part of you? No, you're thinking of this backwards. The distance from her parents is a result of the fact that she's trans. More than likely. Maybe she'll even say that.
A bolder person and a more confident person because, no one showed me how to be.
This video gives you a bit of a play-by-play of how to get HRT.
So this removes testosterone, and then this replaces it with estrogen. In a lot of places, you can't actually...
That's spironolactone and estrogen.
...get hormone replacement therapy.
This is somebody who's posted a tutorial.
They take the raw ingredients of estrogen, and then...
I was saying just the transmaxxing is a grift, but she is really trans. Okay, transmaxxing it looks like a meme to me. It just looks like a meme from LGBT where all the transes over there, they're still edgy. They never really grew up past the age of 14. So they're just like, everybody should transition because you get these benefits, right? And they're just having some fun. I'm shitting on them, but I'm doing it with love. They're just having some fun. They're just some trans people, okay? Who thought maybe it'd be fun to mock up a little thing about why people should be trans. Here's all the benefits of being trans. Great. That's great fun and humor. Like whatever. Go off. But then you take people like this dipshit, taking it seriously, making an entire fucking documentary and lying to innocent trans people about it. It's disgusting. It's journalistic malpractice, and this video should be stricken from the fucking site.
Inject it.
So these are people
who
are kind of self-medicating. It's full-on instructional, isn't it? It's just like, okay, go to this website. Here's how you do it. Here's how much you take.
That's kind of why I came to the Discord, is to find resources on treatment.
Someone's actually asking on this forum.
Stream got nuked? Oh, shit.
How do I